I'd rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. Black power, 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. One body, one faith, one Lord. Feel like I can take over the world with one sword. 144,000 men on one accord. Not being in this army is something we can't afford. Real niggas across the board, ain't no suckers round us. You was looking for the truth, well that's how you found us. Now it's time to lace your boots up. We got the order from the king, round the troops up. Let's go to war and die defending this nation. If we gotta, ain't no stopping us now. The chosen people of the power, standing strong like a man. Cause in our camp it ain't no cowards. 144 grand, nigga, and step before the sun. Rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. I'd rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. Black power, 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. I'm sick and tired of watching niggas get smoked. Work 80 hours a week and then a nigga still broke. Don't let that same nigga try to sell dope. They give him 100 years and then that nigga can't cope. Murder she wrote, they got their foot on our neck. We don't own no damn land, but yet we reppin' our set. Are you prepared for what's next? Babylon is falling, Esau has to fall so Jacob can get the ball in. Many are called and all, I'm standing tall. I just did a roll call and all my dogs, we all in. 7,000 men who haven't bowed to idols. Remember that we them people they talked about in the Bible. Rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. I'd rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. Black power, 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. Hearing lies on the news and lies from the reverend. I might not be a nigga by the time I get to heaven, man. It's time for the truth. I'm tired of oppression. They won't call me a nigga by the time I get to heaven. Hearing lies on the news and lies from the reverend. I might not be a nigga by the time I get to heaven, man. It's time for the truth. I'm tired of oppression. They won't call me a nigga by the time I get to heaven. Rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. I'd rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. Black power, 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. Rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. I'd rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. Black power.
Time, man, shit. Make sure you let these niggas know what time it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Get on this motherfucker. Let these niggas know what time it is, you understand? We royalty, nigga.
King Ty really one of the realest. I survive drive-bys from them killers. Like I got 9 lives, I got 9 wives. I said fine wine with them bitches. I'm spitting fire bombs in your city. I got like 8 or 9 niggas with me. And we all ready to die in a minute. One West, we the best in the business. I get offended, I fuck niggas spend it. Talking they get it, but niggas is timid. Rappers is softer than linen. Catch me out parking lot pimping. What more could I give them? I've been the hottest forever. Why would I lie about cheddar? I could do better. I just put loyalty first. Royalty coming whenever. Pull off in the Jetta. Curvy, she on me, you sweater. My fault like wearing a sweater in summertime weather. Haters so salty, no pepper. You not that seasoned or clever. I'm with the rebel. Used to pump bass with the treble. Baking a cake in a kettle. I used to cook up the work. Now I just cook with the metal. Gotta keep foot to the pedal. Yeah, let me give it gas on the highway. Let the music blast on the calm day. Break the Glock down into 3 parts. Put the 3 together like my Najee. Took a Bombay with my enclave. Got my mind made. Ain't no time waste. No. Eating prime steak with a fine date at a fine place. Getting violated.
Hey, listen. Already told these niggas, you understand? I call up King Ty, he say what's up, I say what's good, my lord. Listen, he like, listen, These niggas ain't ready for none of this. You understand? I said, listen, if the nigga ain't one West, he ain't got it on his arm or his chest. I don't give a fuck about the nigga. It's just me and my niggas. We royalty, yeah.
I got the hammer, you running, man. Come through your window like rubber man. Snapping your neck like a rubber band. Talk to my jaw like the sun is set. He told me murder you rappers. Uppercut sending you vertical actors. Y'all got me coming with verbal attackers. I might attack you type physical too. So y'all be rhyming the way y'all be shining. I'm blinding these rappers like Mr. Magoo. These haters miserable, we indivisible. Look at these haters like they got no clue. They hold up ones in them W's. Really, bro, don't get too comfortable. If you ain't cut from the cloth, co-signed by the boss, then we do not fuck with you. Cause you wouldn't last here. I told you the same shit last year.
Already told.
Keep talking that trash, I have a car, come kick your ass in.
Already know.
Your jaw like glassware. We pull up, not rocking no mask there. Don't care if you spot us, you know how you got us. It's over, you saying your last prayer.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did?
That's right. That's
right. One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacle set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles and make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember Johanna's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. That was designed fire for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is
deeper than an ice pick on you rappers' necks, and it's feeling like some vice grips. Yeah, that's light shit. Send my bro a kite quick. Ties of war, we ain't forget about you. Keep your light lit. Rappers can't see. Most of them scared to witness. Go and close your eyes. There's one right here for the trenches. Bad bitches, natural hair or extensions. Hood niggas that'll poly grip like some dentures. Brothers on them fences. 23 and 1 out. Praying that that commissary hit before it run out. Bitches on the gram, dog filter with their tongue out. Couldn't stay home because they found the dugout. Closed casket, burner in the low jacket. My co-captain, riding on these whole rappers. My hoes fabulous. Now I don't mean that derogatory, but I'm a player and there's no my women riding for me. I avoided Maury. I got 2 jets. If I can't make it through for them, then I'm useless. Sit down that roof, Chris, with a couple bosses. After the war, just to count our losses. It's not many. You see a smile on my face, but I'm not friendly. Going on my way, sipping white Henny. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on the swab in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in the swab in my whole life. My whole life. It's so melodic. When I be dropping this ebonics, this ghetto phonics, it got me on the level supersonic. My bomb atomic, and you know where you can find me. Somewhere probably folding this paper origami. My name is pure as the Dasani. My wave is like a tsunami. I went from 0 to 100, feeling like Ricky Bobby. I made a deal with the Reaper. Got a couple wives, they some keepers. Talk a lot of shit, but you can't walk a mile in my sneakers. Bitches go to Miami, come home with change features. Now she got a BBL, her ass fatter. Trying to show up all them niggas that laughed at her. Now when they see her, they only wanna fuck her. They just wanna touch her, they don't wanna cuff her. They just wanna come and kick it with her like a punter. Turned her to a runner, now it's all aboard the train. Fenty on her face, but it's not concealing the pain, it's a shame. So I'm in the hood like some rap snacks. I know niggas kill you and your mama for a scat pack. Dark tint, matte black, they do it for half that. Had you like 90s Missy in a fucking trash bag. I'm from Philly, we don't do bank accounts, just cash app. I spit a verse and I just watch the time slow. This that God flow, this that shit that rappers die for. This that uncut Taha Wall straight from Pablo Escobar. I be at the bar like Moscato. They think it's effort, but no, this that block work. Make the countermeasures, take pleasures, making an op hurt. Light is in the sky, cause every verse is a concert. My mind work at speed y'all can't fathom. Listen to the words of a champion. It can, the streets need another anthem. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on the swab in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in the swab in my whole life. My whole life.
And I can't let no hoe lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, oh they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying. This shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert. Another cop just stretch the nigga. He a demon, this that exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. Fuck the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit and I ain't listening. Is in fact the if revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jackie. So Tower War, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that. Bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real trigger know them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? What he saying something, I ain't hear. This shit light. It ain't about who got the gun, it's about who gon' up that fight first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just waste hand back. He bitchin' about 10%. I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him. Just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter. God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, out with that hollow side. Yeah, this the real McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still about my brain, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get it, boy, lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
We talking about practice, not a game, not the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that? And we talking about practice.
Best believe that I'm top 3. The only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Put me anywhere other than one that is not me. It's beef, we strut a nigga block, that's chopped cheese. No peace, the butterfly sting him, that's Ali. You reach, I teach him with the handle, that's Kyrie. Machines you hook like a Roman, that's IV. You a sheep, I'm a goat, it's a difference, so watch me. You weak, all hooks, no punches, so block these. They mock me, I just show them how it goes. Try to stomach this thug life. They ring got the nose, bandana on the grip. All heads coming out the foe. Connected from Cali to New York, niggas, so let it go. Made for this, nigga, I eat bars and drink flows. Thinking you woke into your third eye, peephole. Line for line, this shit too easy, it's like a free throw. Mastered the game too early, this bitch a cheat code. It ain't a game, these niggas lame, they bring a shame. If I'm with an officer, it's a number in his name. We ain't the same, you want the easy pass, tell him change his lane. Shit, I've been through the fire, you can't stand the rain, take an aim. Tell him runner, he can try his best. Drive a car named after me, that's why I'm in the vet. Laugh at these niggas once again, and I ain't break a sweat. Number 1 at everything I do, that's why I'm one West. The Lord is not the God of the dead, so when I die, coming back for my spot, so forever I'm top 3. Just tell him to watch this, janitor with the mop stick. You gon' need a defensive lineman to block this. On point when I bomb shit, 10 for 10 I do not miss. I'm barking with a full bulldog, it is not mixed. They can see that my mind's sick, I don't write, I find shit. I don't like it, then I switch. If I touch it, it's diamond. Tell a bitch that I'm God sent. It ain't because my kicks is built like 5'6", 5'7" is my bitch. Dangerous, high risk, I lose it, get another one. You think I'm talking about a girl, I'm talking about another gun. We here now, hey look, it is what it is now. We don't fuck with the house niggas, we burn the crib now. I'm ahead now, and I hope they can hear now. I don't care if you think it's it, nigga, I don't fear clown. Silences make it sound like raindrop, that's a quiet storm. Get the job done in the view or get fired on. If you niggas standing for nothing, what you dying for? If you put real with real, that's how I was born. Walking this bitch ready for war, I'm in riot form. I want these niggas to see me flex, that's why I am armed. I shouldn't live in the crib, nigga, I should buy a farm to go through this shit so effortless. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3.
Yeah, on 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and their head with that shit.
Fine then, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived.
Yeah, on 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man. Look, when
When that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit. Fine in, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, I'm too solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. I got real soldiers, kill for me, nigga, watch yourself. They say you been in beast mode lately, you is not yourself. When you dropping that fire, precious minds, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspiring. Cross the line, them firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin. No kindness, I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. In the field like Jeepers Creepers, say they want some smoke, dawg. So I brought these chimney sweeps. Coming like we coming, you can't even cap. These niggas don't run it like we running, bitch, don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till death do us part. So if you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch. Bless your heart, fine in. I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. I heard they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rate for real. Take over in effect, yeah, I'm fully focused. You might not see it on me, just know it's women, that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told them I need major motion. Think I'm joking, I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jody. Got it out the dust, now I'm too clean, don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dawg? Guns and butter, baby boy. U.P.K top, dawg. Certified road runner. I'ma turn that econ line van to a damn tank. I got chopper stash in the attic like they Anne Frank. They had that shit on lock till I snapped on them like bolt cutters. You cannot play both sides, gotta choose your colors. See him throwing that one up with that W, that's my blood, bro. Fine in. I ain't show no mercy, I'm gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the dust, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a made, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. Said they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real.
These niggas gonna get it. Come on, big guy. What's good on our kid?
What's going on?
Long yes, since I rock the thumb.
Hey, y'all about to with thumb. Salaki, you know when niggas laughing before. One of them jokes to make you cry. God damn. Always looking like Akim. You'll get your radioactive anti-radiation suits ready. Just say the sky is falling. I don't call Biden chicken licking now. The sky is falling. The sky, run, Putin. Right. God damn.
The last set of people that put Esau like back him in a corner where he had to use it was them Japanese, and they for sure felt it.
Come.
You know what I mean? So they know what they're messing with when they go again when they go with Putin. That's why they're choosing the word. You know what I mean? They're choosing the word. Biden choosing his word very well.
Come.
You know what I mean?
That nigga need to take a good shot and just come out and say what he need to say, man. So Putin can hurry up, and I don't understand what's all this, pussyfooting and if listen, when it was us, it was if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Well, Putin, if you don't use them nukes, you ain't shit.
Right. You in Russia. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Yuri and them gotta come at him good, man.
Yeah, I mean Zelensky and them right now, they're panicking if that's the case. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, because I watched some recently with them with them testing the nuke in 1950. That joint scary.
That's the one
to think, huh? Summertime?
That's the one that they put in the water.
Yeah, the one that they put in the water, and them white boys.
On the ship.
Yeah, who the send on the ship? Yo, you so wicked. Had no children again. A man had a child. The girl, 11 years, gave hump, and he said he had to shave her twice a day.
Damn. Gillette,
on the back.
The best a man can get. Listen, you saw the one where the dude said he covered his eyes with his hand. Yeah. And he opened his eyes behind the eyes and the nigga could see through his shit.
X-rays, vessels. Yeah.
He saw put them on the boat and said cheese. Right. God damn, man.
So you can imagine what they have today.
And them same people and the descendants of those men will pass by the camp and say we wrong for saying the white man's the devil. Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean they'll say we wrong for saying the oppressor is the devil when he do that to his own people. That's right. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's absolutely crazy. Yeah, I mean once again Saturday night, holding it down for Command GEN.YAHANNA, hardest working man in Israel. Yeah, I mean. Ripping, running through. It was down in Tennessee last weekend or the weekend before, I believe. Last weekend. Houston is up next October 27th, I think, to the 29th or the 28th. And then we had the December 1st through 4th, Vegas. You know what I mean? So y'all make sure and talk to Spirit now. Let Spirit know what's going on now. Let Southwest know what's going on from now. Right. Tell them you ain't moving, you ain't giving up your seat. Yeah, man. I don't know what y'all do, but get in.
That's it.
So yeah, man. So what we starting with? We going with Putin and Biden?
If I could,
yeah, please.
I was gonna say I don't know if y'all want to start with Biden and Putin. Say that for the end. The big thing that everybody been talking about is this Kanye West with this White Lives Matter shirt.
I was to touch on that.
It's a. I don't know if y'all want to touch on it. We can touch on it. I yield to y'all, but I just see it's almost as though as the lines are being drawn amongst the oppressor. You know what I'm saying? Between the Republicans and the Democrats and the liberals and the conservatives. It seemed like these jakes that's up there in the entertainment world are rubbing elbows with Esau, drawing lines in the sand too.
Just take them off.
This White Lives Matter T-shirt that Kanye West put on is causing a huge stir with all of these jakes that's in the entertainment world. You know what I'm saying? But it seems as though you watch the interviews and you listen to the way Kanye West is talking about it, it's like he's making a mockery of the whole Black Lives Matter thing. And I don't know, like I said, it just seemed like amongst the jakes that's, on Esau's coattail, they also drawing lines in the sand as they see Esau drawing lines in the sand.
Mm-hmm.
And Kanye West has shown that he's siding with the conservatives, he's siding with the Republicans, he's siding with the Trumplicans. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't want to get caught up in the mix. He see almost like he see the writing on the wall for the Democrats, and he letting it be known now where he stands with, you know, those good old boys in white America.
He looked like a good beaten slave too.
Yeah.
He looked like a good beaten slave, all that busted up lip. You know what I mean? The bruises on his cheek. Like somebody just, you know, like he escaped Jeffrey's apartment. You know, like he ran from Jeffrey's apartment and ran out into the street, and now he's screaming, you know, white lives matter. Right. Yeah. And when a month ago he was talking all kind of mess about what's the devil who was having sex with his wife? Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson. Does Pete Davidson life matter, Kanye? Right. Yeah. I mean, if that's the case, then give Pete Davidson a pass. You know, he say I'm gonna whip Pete Davidson's ass. Right. Well, where was White Lives Matter then?
Yeah.
Yep. And if I could, so I think it's important for our people to understand that none of this has anything to do with loving black people or giving a damn about black people. Like, it's just really casting the spotlight on how much these entertainers don't give a damn about us, and they are not at all in a position to speak for black people, to advocate for black people, or to even, you know, put us in the forefront. Like, these cats is concerned about their money, they're concerned about their bottom line, they're concerned about selling their products, selling their clothes, selling their music, being able to not, you know, be on the bad side of Esau when it comes to trying to get these deals through. And what gets lost is that, you know, there's an argument as though Kanye West done let black people down, or he done failed black people, or he's somehow against black people, when Kanye West is only about his bottom dollar. Kanye West could give a damn about what happens to black people in the ghetto. He could give a damn about what happens to black people in the hood. All he cares about is being able to sell his products. And the same could be said for all of those so-called liberal blacks, all of them, those so-called jakes that's siding with the Democrats, and even during that whole Black Lives Matter movement, none of that was ever about black people. It was always about appealing to a certain group of white people and getting them to be on their side and getting their support. And in the mix, we continue to die, we continue to starve, we continue to be forgotten, except for, you know, the I.S.U.P.K and the Commander GEN.YAHANNA. We're the only ones that speak on the behalf of our people concerning the plight that we're in, concerning the suffering. You know what I'm saying? They had that whole Black Lives Matter movement, but said nothing about abortion. Black Lives Matter movement, but said nothing about the damage that the LGBTQ is doing to our people. You know what I'm saying? A whole Black Lives Matter movement, and nothing to be said about the lies and the you know, misinformation that is causing our people to continue to suffer, not having an identity. So Kanye West playing the other side of it. Again, he's saying white lives matter. He's saying that, you know, the whole Black Lives Matter movement didn't do anything for black people, but also his messaging has nothing to do with you know, getting us out of the condition that we're in. His messaging has nothing to do with fixing the problem that's in our community, which is a lack of morality. And so anybody that's getting caught up in whether Kanye West is right or he's a coon, or look at what Puff Daddy said, or look at what this that I think the other rapper, what's the cat name? Mos Def came out with a black, he had a white lives matter shirt, but the V was X'd out. So it was white lives matter. And none of these cats have anything to do with black people. They don't give a damn about you. They selling their records, they selling their music, they getting their money, and they going wherever the hell that they going to. But nothing that they are doing has anything, is never making a change in the condition that we're living in our community. Only the men of the Most High in the ISUPK has the solutions for fixing the problems that's plaguing our community. Only in those scriptures are you going to find the answers to the problem of police brutality, of black on black crime, of getting out of poverty, you know what I'm saying, of fixing the culture that's causing us to kill one another and be against each other in our communities. And these entertainers and these celebrities only care about what's going to allow their dollar to continue to grow.
Yep. You said a whole mouthful there. You said a whole mouthful there. Like this, it was like you in the age of the internet with the likes, the likes and the you know, the trending age, where you don't even have to be you don't have to. There's no onus on anybody to be authentic to what they say or present at. Like everybody has a how them PR people, let's call it a representative, right? And that representative is that face you put on for the internet and for BT and for VH1, and that's your representative. And you know that representative changes based on you know, whatever climate, in political or entertainment climate, you know what I mean, or whatever. And it's I think for sure with Kanye West is really like how they say art imitate life. Like Kanye West is a consolidation or a good real life artistic example of how hollow the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community is. Like people are mad at him, but he is really just representing as a people how just clueless we are about anything.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like that's really what it is. He's just like a walking, I don't know. It's just like almost like a mirror in a way, where what he's doing is what the Black community does, which is to love your oppressor. Like really, don't be mad at him more than you're mad at yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's damn near where it's going. Because at this point, ain't nobody taking him serious. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody taking him serious at all. Walking around with these big ass boots and having, public ass thing with his wife. And he can't really, hold his stuff together, making all kind of ridiculous statements. But something like this, white lives matter, for somebody in the world with his status, to put that on his back is a huge, insult to Black people and our history. But on the other side of it, as a people, we echo white lives matter every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Our lives as a people, it echoes it every single day. You know what I mean? So it's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? Anybody else want to jump in?
If I could. He was said, they asked him, why'd you call your shirt White Lives Matter? He said, because they do. Right? So like I was reading that, and it's funny on the internet, you got some people are calling Kanye crazy, and then other people are trying to dissect why he's saying that. You know what I mean? Like, it's a method to the madness. You know what I mean? He really, he trying to say that the Israelites matter. I see some crazy shit, right? So I'm like, what is y'all talking about? I just look at it like, Commander GEN.YAHANNA said a long time ago, he's a slave. Like he's just a good boot-looking slave. That's just who he is. You know what I mean? And I seen little Boosie burn his shoes up, man. He's like, I'm not messing with this dude no more, man. You know what I mean? I think the Black community as a whole look at him, like you said, Cap, like, man, he's a joke. You know what I'm saying? He's a joke. I'm not trying to dissect what he's going through. I don't give a damn what he's talking about. I'm not trying to get some insight on what this really means. You know what I mean? I just look at him like he's a joke, and we should move on. Like, how we counsel everybody. We should just move on from Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? This whole thing is a ploy to get his white whore of a wife back. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing. He want that wife back so bad that he just going on every platform possible to get exposure to show her how important he really is, and he's not important to her, and she's a slut. So
that's right. Listen,
I mean?
Wasn't he the one who was saying when Elizabeth died, he said UK, I know how you feel. I lost my queen too. He said UK, I know how you feel because I lost my queen too. So you're definitely right on the money with it. Like it's all the attention,
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know if anybody familiar with this interview here. I think it's Tucker Carlson who sat down.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with it, where all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at his he talking, responding to Tucker Carlson, but he ain't really saying nothing. But all the way through, just look at his body language. He could barely hold his hair. He looking all over the place. You know what I mean? It's like he's in a room with his master. You know what I mean?
And if you already listened to him speak here, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see also too that Kanye West, either you real smart or you real dumb. You know what I mean? Either one out of the two. But you know what I mean, he said some things about abortion. You know what I'm saying? Like he to you know, he has some, you know what I mean, he have some type of sense. He knows what he's doing. It's not to say he don't know. This whole thing about lives matter, to me, I think it was just about money, just about playing on them white folks to get the money. You know what I mean? Not saying he liked black people based on what he do, but it seems as if that was a business move he made. You know what I mean? That's what to me, that's what it seemed like. You know what I mean?
It's definitely to get attention because now everybody talking about it. Now he's quote unquote trending. You know what I mean? Now he's, you know, and he all over the place. And I think recently too, he left Gap. He left out his Gap what do you call that thing? His Gap sponsorship or what's called endorsement. You know what I mean? And you know, so this whole thing, as you say, is like damn near he's just promoting himself. Everybody talking about him. Like he's
and if I could, sir, to me, what I've been seeing the past few years with these entertainers is almost as though they see that there's a empty space when it comes to who's the public face of black people right now. Like for many years, my whole life growing up, you know, you had the so-called religious leaders, you had your Jesse Jacksons and your Al Sharptons. Whenever there was an incident or something happened amongst black people, they had their talking heads that they would go to. You know what I'm saying? And that is new generation that's coming up. They are looking to see who is going to be the next, who's going to be our next puppet, who's going to be the next guy on the string who speaks and says that thing that black people can relate to, or that thing that captivates the black audience. And it seems like now these entertainers, these rappers are trying to fill that space. You know what I'm saying? Years ago when it was, you know what I'm saying, you had Jay-Z speaking out when Barack Obama was getting ready to get elected and speaking out during the whole NFL situation with Colin Kaepernick. And now you get, you know, Kanye West stepped up there with the white Make America Great Again hat with Donald Trump. And it's like it's the same exact thing that took place during the civil rights movement. Esau is trying to see who is going to be our puppet, who's going to sell out to these people and be the voice to say the things that we once said that we know we can't say. Who's going to be the nigga that's going to speak for us? And Kanye West is signing up. Kanye West is throwing his hat in the ring. He's ready to be the talking head for whatever conservative America wants to say to black people. You know what I'm saying? And for many years, the Democrats done had their talking heads. You know what I mean? All of this, get out the vote and rock the vote. And they had the rappers for a long time with them rock the vote shirts and everybody get out the vote. When what the hell does voting do for us as a people? What is it contributed to us, you know, progressing as a society? All we've gotten is more death, murder, and destruction and confusion joining ourselves to our oppressor. And it seems like black people are becoming to, you know, we waking up to the illusion that this is a bunch of BS. Well, now that we waking up to seeing how much of a farce this whole thing is and how this getting down with these Democrats ain't changing nothing. Before we gracefully bow out, here come Kanye saying, come on now, come on over to the conservative side. Black Lives Matter didn't do nothing for you, so white lives matter. Come on, y'all, let's vote for Trump and keep him in office. Like they are just doing anything that they can to ingratiate themselves to our oppressor so that as the oppressor continues to oppress, they can be able to eat a little bit off of, you know, the backs of the rest of our suffering.
I'm sure that Candace Owen too. You know what I mean? Like she's the female version of Kanye West.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And she already have, you know what I mean, an oppressor as a husband. So she in the game, she all the way in the game. Win or lose, she in that game.
She ain't just marry any oppressor. Like that husband she has is a member of the Tory party in the UK. The Tory party is like the equivalent of the Republican. He's a family member of, you know, high-ranking members of that party. So she ain't just marry any, you know, Harvard graduate. Like she went, you know, or he came and got her. You get the point?
Yeah.
He ain't just go marry anybody. And even with Kanye, with that Candace Owens, she makes a lot more sense than he does. You know, with some of the things she says. But of course, the motive behind it is to be a servant to the oppressor, regardless. You know what I mean? Like you can't, even when they make sense, you have to kind of take it away from them. because they intend to drive us to serve this oppressor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what they definitely intend to do. Like Kanye he just marketing right now. He's marketing himself. Adidas want to drop him. Of course, Adidas want to drop him because, of course, if White Lives Matter, black athletes is going to start to rebel and dump the shoe, and their sales going to drop. So they're thinking about dropping him. You know what I mean? You look at him here. This is a child who, needs his father. You know what I mean? He in there with these big ass rain boots. You know what I mean? The hat saying 2023, White Lives Matter, sitting on there with the Balenciaga mouth guard. Like this is a man child who needs his father. You know what I mean? Who needs somebody who could tell him when to shut up. And before he got to this point, when he was under Jay-Z, he still had some kind of checks and balance. You know what I mean? When he was still fighting to be recognized as a rapper, and they wouldn't let him rap. You know what I mean? He's a producer, and they can't call him a producer rapper. Then he started making music, and now the music is not enough. You want to go into clothes. Now the clothes is not enough. Now you want to go into politics. Now politics is not enough. Now he want to be Jesus. You know what I mean? He write a Bible, the Book of Ye. So this is somebody who needs his father to tell him, sit down there and cross your hands. Don't move. Don't get up off that couch. Right. You know what I mean? This is what America provides. Like, you look at how this brother really is. This is just a result of America, which is, again, he's a reflection of us as a people. Yeah. Crazy, deranged, and still think in some way, form, or fashion, you could charm this beast and make sense to this beast. And you're not the ordinary nigga, and this beast is going to respect you. It's just ridiculous. Right. If you're good with that, I don't mind moving on. Unless there's something else that's going on with him we know about strategy.
So that was it. I just wanted to make sure we touched on it because a lot of brothers and sisters confused about what it is they seeing when they see this cat. And I want to just make sure that we discussed it to let everybody know this cat ain't I think we all said it plainly and clearly exactly what's going on. So I just want brothers and sisters to not be confused or get caught up in the argument of he right or wrong. Like Captain Gaddafi said, this nigga ain't got it ain't deep. You know what I'm saying? He's just a sellout. He's just a coon, but he's one of many. Let's not look at it like he the only one or he doing something special. He's just doing what everybody else is doing. He's just doing it on the other side. So
yeah, definitely. And he's suffering with all these mental problems. Is that he the only reason we're speaking about him is because he have money. There's crazy people every day who love white people. Half of them be at camp, dressing all funny, acting all weird, and saying, "See, I love the white man." The crazy nutcases who think white lives matter every day. The only reason he's even spoken about is because he got some money. Because he on his way to be a billionaire, if he's not a billionaire already. You know what I mean? So they definitely drop him. You know what I mean? What we got next? Listen, I want to get to them Putin and Biden. I'm trying to tell you. I want to get to missiles, mayhem, and more. Right. Yeah, I mean missiles, mayhem, and more. What else we have in this? That's decent.
Slave auction number 4.
Yeah, let's get that slave auction. Yeah, I mean, let's get that slave auction. And too, boy, listen, I saw a video of that Deion Sanders. Boy, Deion Sanders is, I mean, every brother who did not have a father, that's your replacement. Yeah, I mean, if you're in the world, you go into school, you on some football team or something, you down there that's who you want to be, directing you if you're in the world. Yeah, I mean, if you're not in the UPK, you're good to fall up on them. He said some, heavy shit about the whole generation and how soft the generation is right now. And it's because, coming out of weakened households, compromised households, where everybody is doing shit for likes. And he made a super analogy about, everybody's liking because you don't love it. Right. So, because if you love it, you'll put your all in it. And the reason these kids is coming out today and ain't putting the all in it, you see the difference in the the quality of the NFL or the NBA or whatever. it's because they didn't really like it and they ain't putting the all into it. And this is not everything.
Right.
But they could go on the internet and have followers and think they made it. I mean, he break the whole thing down, boy. And I'm like, okay, these brothers who under him being coached, their life is going to be totally different.
Right.
Their life is going to be totally, totally different. And you need more like him. You need more like him. In the UPK, we have them in an abundance. But it was very refreshing to me to see a brother in the world speak like that to young black men.
Right.
You know what I mean? And have that type of integrity and not be willing to bend over or bow like Kanye West type. Like, he does not give a damn about these white people.
Right.
And whatever pressure they come in with or what they want to do to young black brothers is that he's standing in the gap on behalf of them. And it's like, nah, we ain't doing that around here.
Right.
If I could.
You know, he gonna play this level out first.
Right.
Then we'll think about that. Like, and brother, he doing it with the right aggression too, like a father figure. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So like it's like, go ahead.
Like, I mean to cut you off. So I was just gonna say what Deion Sanders is an example of is a black man who was able to do business with the oppressor but keep his integrity. Like, you don't have to sell out in order to be able to be successful. You know what I mean? Right. And the lessons he's teaching them boys is that you can maintain your integrity, maintain your manhood. Don't let anybody do anything to you just because you working a job or you got a slavery. Just because this is a high profile slavery and they got potential to pay you some money, don't mean you got to compromise yourself. Right. And like you said, Cap, it's important because those brothers need strong black men to let them know you can use your God-given talent. Listen, everybody can't be 6'6", 272 and run a 4.2. Like, that's an absolute gift. And you can utilize that gift and capitalize off of it and not compromise your integrity and not give up your soul. There's a way that the Lord gave us the ability to be able to be great and to be amazing and at the same time still honor him and honor our people. And that's what those are lessons that Deion is giving to those kids. And that's why, if I could, that coming back to the HBCUs is important. You see the difference when you have, you know, black men instructing black men on how to conduct themselves versus you just, you know, a cog in a goddamn college machine that's just getting you and beating your body up and getting you to, you know, making millions of dollars off of you and then shipping you off to the next level. Or hell, if you don't make it, they just get you 4 years of your best of your ability, and now you back on the streets. Like, Deion is giving these brothers life lessons that's going to follow them the rest of their life, whether they make it in the NFL or not. And that's what's definitely important and necessary in our community. Salaki.
Yeah. It's definitely good for the image of black men. It's a good turnaround for the image of black men. And it cuts so many different hurdles we have in the black community today, which is that generation gap.
Right.
Where the older generation could come off as not respecting or giving a damn or, you know, over glorifying their generation on top of the heads of the younger generation. You get the point? And the younger generation could be charged of being guilty of not being humble or willing to learn. But what he's showing there is, you know, the gap could be bridged. You don't have to be a sellout, as you say. You could have some integrity. You could have some backbone. You know what I mean? And you impact a whole ton of brothers' lives just by how you deal with them and roll with them. Of course, that ain't something surprising to us in here. But I was absolutely surprised to see a brother in the world behave in the way he has behaved in front of the media, in front of, you know, pressure from, you know, the league, and in front of his team. You know what I mean? Like, he's able to criticize them to the point where they feel the weight of disappointment, because it's coming from him. Like, they just win the game. They just won a game, literally won a game, and he's like, did we give it all? Did we give it our all? And there's like, no, we didn't. You know, did we play good? He's, nah, we was horrible. And he giving them the, you know, criticizing them, and it's not breaking them. It's damn near like they want to come out and please him, which is so, you know, so integral for the black community. You know, somebody else looking is not going to understand how valuable this is here, you know, to have a male black figure as strong, giving you that good manly criticism and raising you the right way. Other nations don't understand how much we miss that as a people. Right.
So, like, if I could, Cap.
Please,
and that's what made a lot of people, they were shocked when he got that number one recruit, the number one recruit in the nation. But T.O. said something that was heavy, and it's similar to what you're saying. T.O. told, and the young brother played the same position, I believe, that Deion played in the NFL. And everybody know he's a Hall of Famer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But even T.O. said that no coach in America, no college coach in America was able to have a conversation that he had with that boy at his mama's house. And they were shocked that he chose a HBCU. So once again, it's just like you said, that masculinity, that manhood, and that accountability. You know what I'm saying? Holding those men accountable. They had a video not too long out. They had a break. And before they went on their break, he was telling them, he said, don't take nothing that's not yours. Don't drive. He gave a whole thing of what he gave a whole thing. He don't want to see them on doing something on, because he know the pressure's on. Not just the pressure to excel in athletics, but the media, the predatorial journalism. The last thing he wants is a scandal to happen with those boys. He said, don't get anybody pregnant. You don't supposed to get anybody pregnant. He went the whole thing. And like you said, being like like that father figure. And I think 2 of his sons is on that team also. One of them is a quarterback. But definitely taking that, like the scriptures say, be a father to the fatherless. You know what I'm saying? Being able to step up in those roles. And that's what we got to do as black men, not just on the athletic, but even on the academia level. You know what I'm saying? On the social level, all these different levels, you know what I'm saying? Mainly the priesthood, which is what we do. You know what I'm saying? But the truth is getting out and the spirit is out. You know what I'm saying? The Holy Spirit is going to put this nation back together. So that's some great points that you said. He definitely said some things that was nigh unto the truth in some of those locker room meetings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He definitely said some things that were nigh unto what Commander GEN.YAHANNA said, was showing you that people are listening to what the I.S.U.P.K is saying. They may not quote us verbatim, but the talking points is in the algorithm.
Yeah.
The talking points are in the stream now. So I just want to say that.
Definitely. If I could too, I don't know if y'all remember, he the same. Deion Sanders brought the Brittany Rayner girl out to speak to them brothers too. You know what I mean? And basically, without saying it, it's like, hey, this is what you gotta look out for.
Yep.
You know what I mean? She trying to get y'all, so I'm trying to bring it to y'all face to let you know what to look for.
Yep. And he
you know what I mean?
Remember, he caught some heat.
He did.
It was like, see, how could you bring her there, and what you trying to do to the boys, and you're trying to entice the boys, and that's he preparing them. That's like old school fathers and older brothers would do that. They would put you in the car and drive you to the whole corner. I mean, like, them girls over there, what you think about them? Oh, they're fire. Stay far away from them.
Come.
Don't go near them.
Yep.
Come.
Yeah, I mean, he'll show you where the shit is and tell you, make sure you don't do it. You know what I mean? So I can go ahead.
No, what you're saying is right, because, and he brought her in there and he said, so what do you look for when you look for an athlete? She said, I'm looking for the blue checks. That blue check is that thing that's in that. If you got a social media profile, meaning it's letting you know this profile account is authentified. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this is me. I'm a celebrity. The blue check. I'm a comedian. I'm an actor. Those blue checks is what they look for. They skip all those comments. They slow down when they get to those blue checks, and those blue checks turn into green checks. You understand? And she went there and she laid the whole thing out to him. And Deion, people don't understand. It's prime time. I mean, he done had them all. Him, Michael Irvin. He talked about them parties they would have before and after the game, and the type of women they would have. I mean, he said he even brought out that one of the women that he married at one time, she didn't even know his middle name. She was literally a trophy wife. So he didn't seen and been around them all. You know what I'm saying? Rappers and all that. I remember he had that song. I mean, that song, It Must Be the Money. You know what I'm saying? Deion used to rap too. He was singing on, you know what I'm saying? He said, you know what I'm saying? He said, my library card turned into a bank card. And, and people I used to know, he said, I called my mom and she said, baby, it must be the money. And you know what I'm saying? Like Deion got some swag to him, man. So a lot of the young brothers, they look up because their fathers talked about Deion. They great, you know what I'm saying? So they come from that area like, man, you get a chance to be under him, But it's definitely breathing life back into the HBCUs. A lot of people are talking about it. You know what I'm saying, about the HBCUs, man. But it's one thing the HBCUs are lacking. And that's the critical race theory course taught by yours truly, the ISUPK.
Yeah.
That's right.
If you can get like I said, the white universities ain't gonna talk about these things, but the HBCU is fertile ground to talk about real-time race issues. Now I'm not talking about black studies. I'm talking about on a level that the UPK brings out. You know what I'm saying? This is definitely you know what I'm saying? Deion was getting it on, man.
Yep.
It's a lot.
Yep.
And if I could, Cap, you know, seeing Deion when he bought that, like Captain Goodall bought out, he brought that woman in there to let them boys know that you the prey.
Yeah.
You think you the hunter, you think you the big jock, when there's women who are trained their whole life to go capture you, subdue you, and then get half of everything you got after about 2-3 kids. And what Deion did, listen, is the power of having a black man in authority. My whole life growing up, the black college trip was like the movie He Got Game.
Yeah.
Or that movie The Program. Like the white coaches, they bring you to the college university on a trip, and they gonna have Brittany Rayner to get you to come to that school. She gonna take you in that bedroom and get you on a college tour, and that's where you gonna be going to school. Like they feed you to them type of broad.
Yeah.
They don't warn you about them. They don't tell you to watch out for them. They go feed you to them. But Deion knowing better and knowing, you know, the trap that these boys is being funneled into, he decided to go the other route and say, nah, listen here, fellas, I want y'all to know what it is that's out there hunting you. I want you to be aware of what it is that is trying to trap you.
Yeah.
This is it. And he let her go up in there and she talked and she was very candid with her. She gave the whole game to them boys. And Deion did that as a service. As a black man who's been through it, you know, he's giving back to these youngins and letting them know, listen, man, everything that you know what I'm saying, glitters ain't gold and everything that's sugar ain't sweet. You know what I mean? That's what these young boys need to be you know, they need somebody who cares enough about them to warn them and give them a heads up, and that's what Deion doing.
And Salaki.
You go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say I pray that it lasts for the brother. You know what I mean? But I know with all the truth, them certain things is just for time.
Somebody will say some will or the how.
Yeah.
But I mean, for outside of the truth, this is probably the best interaction I've seen. Brother, young black men. You know, even Steve Harvey tried to do this shit with his men's boot camp shit.
Yeah,
I think basically turning them into coons, making them niggas cry because they don't have a shape up and showing up there with his cigar in his mouth and see, you got to be like this brother here is being a brother to these brothers, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
and America spent millions of dollars to stop this.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? They spend millions of dollars to stop a black man like this.
Yeah.
Because a black man like that is contagious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Brothers will gravitate towards him. You understand what I'm saying? And they spend millions, you know what I mean, to stop that.
Yeah.
And if I go ahead, sir.
No, I just want to say one thing about this. What Captain to amplify what Captain Nadak just said. It's so right because you got investors now, black investors in the tech field are trying to rebuild certain streets in Jackson, Mississippi. They're trying to rebuild because, like you said, these types of things they don't want. And best believe the governor is looking at this in Mississippi. They know these types of things they don't want a black Mecca or epicenter back in Mississippi, especially where you can have. They just had one actress. I didn't even know she was from Mississippi. She just went down to the university and meet with Deion. And you know what I'm saying? So all these alumni and boosters and things like that, and crowdfunding they doing in the city, around Jackson State, it's the talk is stirring up white people. And like General brought up, this brother he gonna need security. You know what I'm saying? After a while, because like you said, these types of things, people are drawn to that. People are drawn, you know what I'm saying, not just from the star power, but from the things that they see where he's trying to make these young men. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, and things like that. So, but like you said, Captain, I thought they need like the scripture saying or Ezekiel chapter 37. You know what I'm saying? They got sinews, and they got the bone connected to each other, but they need that breath, of life. You understand? That's what's gonna make them a living soul. You know what I'm saying? You add the UPK, you add the spiritual element to that about who we are and our identity, and then you got the whole then Christ about to come back.
And it's damn near like, okay, it's damn near like as the Lord has the UPK on the street speaking, you have brothers in the world building brothers like this here just for that very day of when it's time to transfer over. You know what I mean? There's going to come, America is going to a point of convergence. It's no longer diverging anymore. It's everybody is converging to one point, and that point is going to be separation. And when that separation comes, all these brothers, Sanders, the brothers in the military, everybody, they're going to come searching for the UPK. It's just a matter of time. You know what I mean? So it's good to see something like that. And even that Deion Sanders, like, you all know the story with him and Nike. Remember, he was a Nike athlete. He was a superstar Nike athlete. Nike always has. They're not like the other brands where they have a slew of athletes and they give them big contracts. Nike would have a group of athletes getting small contracts and one flagship athlete. Right? So LeBron is the flagship athlete for basketball. They tried to get Steph Curry, but he wasn't going to be the flagship. And they kind of treated him away. That's why he went to Under Armour. Deion Sanders, you all know, had that diamond turf shoe from Nike. That was big back in the day. That was a huge deal. That Deion Sanders diamond turf Nike shoe. And after he retired, he had his football camps for young kids. He asked Nike to sponsor the camp, and they told him they can't give him no more money because he ain't playing and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, listen, man, I made y'all so much goddamn money. He said, give me the equipment, you no longer use it. Right. They said, no, he went to Under Armour. He said, furthermore, take my name off that old shoe. Don't even bring it back as a retro. Right. I'm done with you. If I was good for you then, how come I ain't good for you now? Right. And that's how he went to Under Armour, and that's why Under Armour has the Jackson State endorsement now. That university is Under Armour. And I'm sure after he spent a few seasons there winning, Nike is going to kick himself in the ass because that could have been their contract. But that's he's not, your typical ass slave. Right. And they showered him with money. Right. You see it from the video. They showered this brother, but he ain't let that money go to his veins. He let me replace that thing that's in him. And that's for a brother in the world, that's a definitely admirable thing. You know what I mean? Definitely admirable. So, you know what I mean? So with that now, let's get that slave auction out.
Yeah.
If y'all don't mind, let's get that slave auction. What school was it?
It was a school in Blythe, California. I forget the name of the school.
It's River Valley High School.
There you go.
Good.
That spot right there, sir, if I could, like that area, it's a lot of government jobs because it's like near the border, right? So you got a lot of cats who work for the government. So a lot of Edomites that work for the government, was in the military. You know what I'm saying? So they children go to those schools in those surrounding areas. You know what I mean? So they carry that spirit of, hating blacks and Mexicans for sure.
Good night. I'm looking for this footage, boy. God damn, where could I find this shit?
Actual article.
Because of the article. What number is the article?
4, sir.
4? Okay, no, sir.
Go ahead, read, sir.
Yeah, you can.
A high school football team held a frat boy style mock slave auction involving some black team members and is paying the price by having the rest of their season canceled. Members of the River Valley High School football team in California screamed at 3 black colleagues in their underwear in the locker room stunt. A video of the prank with faces blurred out shows the 3 black team members standing at the far side of a room in their underwear and with their hands folded in front of them. Meanwhile, other team members point fingers at them. The stunt was deeply offensive and disgraceful. Yuba City Unified School District Superintendent Doreen told CNN, Reenacting a slave sale as a prank tells us that we have a great deal of work to do with our students so they can distinguish between intent and impact, wrote Osumi. They may have thought this skit was funny, but it is not. It is unacceptable and requires us to look honestly and deeply at issues of systemic racism. Team members behind the act were suspended right away for the rest of the season for violating the student-athlete code of conduct. Those suspensions left the team short of the minimum number of players needed to compete in the league, meaning the whole team had to pull out. Osumi added that the recording clearly demonstrates that this situation was orchestrated and organized, which underscores my concern that students spent time contemplating this terrible act without the slightest regard that this action is hateful and hurtful.
Well, now, this is what I want to know. Why didn't nobody do this in front of oven and put those small hats on people's head? Like them line 3 other students up, put some small hats on their head and do this stunt in front of an oven.
Oh God!
Like why didn't that happen? Why they didn't do it in front of oven? Why it is they didn't make a big effigy of a A-bomb,
right?
And then everybody walk around with their eyes like this,
right?
And present Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Right.
Why is it so fine and okay to just totally, disrespect brothers? And once again, we just talking about that Deion Sanders. And these brothers, even in the videos, he's talking to the players. They clothed.
Yep.
They're in the tight thing, and that's that's the sport. There's something another conversation. But these niggas is naked out.
Right.
So these niggas
is naked. Like, where's the father figure?
Right.
So Lockie, if I could, and I just want to say, we believe in giving credit where credit is due in the I.S.U.P.K. So I want to thank you, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Because this is a byproduct of integration. What you see right here. This is a byproduct of his dream. We wanted to integrate, but you didn't think that we would be in a subcategory being integrated with them. But this is what you have right here. And these same people, these same schools will argue against critical race theory.
Yeah.
But evidently you cannot escape race. Evidently what we're seeing here. Because they are mocking a slave auction. Slavery, correct me if I'm wrong, was in the past. They tell us. Well, how did it make it into a football locker room? You understand? Once again, the UPK is always going to be validated. And see, these young brothers, they have to. General Kathama always say at camp, what team are you on? He always just say that at camp. And it's good to use team as a reference point. Why do I say that? Because racism is a team sport. Racism is not an individual sport. Racism is a team sport. You either play together or you lose by default. And what you have here is this right here is once again a watershed moment. And if those brothers are, I ain't gonna even say lucky, but are able to make it to the NFL, it's gonna be no different. It's just gonna be a draft, an NFL draft, where they have, it's an auction, but they're gonna pay you based on your skills, how fast you run, how all these things. So these, once again, going back to this whole notion of understanding how important fatherhood is, how important manhood is, and how important integrity is. Your racial integrity, your racial identity, to be a part of this so-called skit that they want to have. I know they're not going to blame it on Halloween. But see, these are the things that we always have to tell our people once again, time and time and time again, man. Can I get one? Can I get a scripture, Captain? If I can, I wanted to get a scripture in the First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 11, all the way through 15, if I can, because when I saw this video right here, it just proves the point once again. And you gotta understand, these are I'm not even say millennials. These are what, Generation Z?
Yeah.
These young boys. But once again, these things still come up. These things, you can't say this is an educational moment. This is a moment of embarrassment.
Yeah.
And it's a reflection on the so-called leaders that we have who love to hide behind the civil rights movement, who love to hide behind all these things and say, well, you know what, y'all keep bringing up the past. Well, who brought this video? Did we edit this video? Did the UPK make this video? No. You have ill-prepared our children. That's how they look at race. They look at race as a minstrel show now. I can be part of a racial skit during a football game, and it's okay. And get on social media. I mean, they seeing this video in China.
Yeah.
They seeing this video in the United Arab Emirates.
As like you're as you're saying, this proved to that the education system failed us. You understand? Failed these boys tremendously. You know what I mean? As Captain Mashak was saying, you will never find them Jewish boy pretending that they're going and stepping over. Them Jewish boy you're not getting Jewish people to do that. You're not getting them to do that. Why? Because they taught from young not to forget about what them Germans did to them.
Right.
So it's embedded in them. You understand that was evil. We taking it as our kids are taking it as a joke. You understand? Because it's not embedded in them that we should not forget about slavery. Slavery was serious and you know what I mean, like how to put it, heinous. You understand? Right. Like we should never forget about slavery. But this is the proof that forgetting about slavery is going to have your kids do something shameful. Yeah. You understand? It's going to have them half naked, you know what I mean, pretending they're on some auction. You understand?
And if I could, and I can guarantee you these probably the star players of that team.
Yeah.
I was going to say the same thing, sir. I was going to say the same thing.
They probably on the starting lineup, but they participate. They participate in this type of shame. I mean, and understand this. And this is coming on the backs of what we just talked about with Kanye West saying white lives matter. You know what I'm saying? Like these are the types of things that happen on these so-called leaders' watch. You understand? On the oversight, and I mean, now on a college level, they will call this hazing, I believe. But I think even on a high school level, this would be considered hazing, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It should be, but the participants are willing.
Right.
If I could just, what Captain Kahana is getting to the point I was waiting to make. This is a regular occurrence in a school that is predominantly white, when you got a few black kids that's there. Like when you come and participate in athletics, there's Esau has a culture of, humiliating someone in order to bring them into the fold. Like it's damn near like you got to get humiliated in order to be one of us, in order to ingratiate yourself. You understand? And they call it hazing. And what happened to them boys in that locker room, if this video never came out, it would have prepared them to be ready to go to college and join a fraternity. And when you join a fraternity, there's a similar type of ritual that you have to endure in order to become one of the brothers. In order for us to be this brotherhood and we share this secret, you got to do some humiliating, humbling, dehumanizing, degrading thing in order to become one of the boys. When that is an evil, disgusting culture that is against the scriptures. You understand? I know Captain Gunn called for scripture, but I was just going to pull Ezekiel 23 and 37 and 38, where the Lord talked about how we made our children to pass through the fire. You understand? That's what this is. This is, you want to play on the football team, you want to be varsity, yeah, y'all the athletes, y'all the stars, but y'all got to go through this fire in order to be one of us. And when you in these situations, when you're a boy that was raised to have integrity and to have honor, like how Deion Sanders was teaching them kids You understand? You would stand up again and say, man, y'all got me effed up, man. Hell no, I'm not about to participate in no auction. Y'all got me messed up.
Right.
And then what would happen is Esau would respect you, but you'll never be one of them. You'll never be one of the boys. You'll never be, you're not a brother when, goddamn it, it needs to be taught, you understand, and instilled in our boys and our girls that you don't have to ingratiate or dehumanize or degrade yourself for anybody. Anybody that's trying to do that to you, that's someone who's trying to take advantage of you. That's somebody who does not give a damn about your mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. You understand? That is a culture that is heavy with all of our oppressors, not just Esau.
Right.
Ham does it. You understand? Moab does it. Ammon does it. All of the heathens, Ishmael, all of them have some type of ritual, some type of, in the fraternities, they call it crossing the sands, the burning sands, which is literally like passing through the fire. You got to pass through the fire in order to come out on the other end and be accepted, when that is a completely disgusting and evil thing that goes against the culture the Most High gave us, man.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Go on. You still want to get your scripture? I wanted to jump in and do something else too. Go ahead.
If I can, Cap Salaki.
Yeah, please. Okay. First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen.
You understand? It started with the leadership. They made a covenant with the heathen, wicked men. Go ahead.
That are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
You understand? They don't believe in separating. They believe that if we separate, then we less than them. Right. They don't believe in having, some national pride. They believe in being separated from these heathens is going to be hard on us, which is why every time you talk about some kind of liberation or freedom, these people always say we can't survive without them. Go ahead.
Okay. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen.
You understand? They got license, meaning it was a government. They had a government authority, government funding. Go ahead.
Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem.
A place of what?
A place of exercise.
A place of exercise in Jerusalem. You understand? In our homeland, which is like a gymnasium.
Right.
You understand? They had our young men performing naked. You look at them Olympics and everything back in the ancient days, they ran them things, they performed them things naked. They didn't have any clothes on. Go ahead.
Kawakan. According to the customs of the heathen.
Mm-hmm.
And made themselves uncircumcised.
And they made themselves uncircumcised. And listen, that's spiritual too. Like the child gets circumcised on the 8th day, and according to the scriptures. But what does it mean to make yourself uncircumcised? Mm-hmm. Meaning you now revert back to being not your nation, a heathen. You understand? You put off the customs that you're supposed to keep. Your integrity. The law gives you integrity. The law makes you upstanding.
Right.
You understand? The law sets boundaries for these people not to be able to violate you. You made yourself uncircumcised. These young men you look at them, man. They're gonna be less than what they are. They're gonna show this at their graduation. Give me some more.
Come. And forsook the holy covenant.
You understand? They forsook when they made these our young men and young women turn into these sports for heathen customs. We forsook the covenant. The temple suffered. The sanctuary suffered, because that was where you're supposed to give your service to.
Right.
We didn't gave our whole service and all our strength. Remember what the law said: love the Lord thy God with all thy strength, all thy might, all thy heart. You understand? That's one of the greatest commandments. You understand?
Right.
You supposed to give all that to the Lord in our youth. But look what's happening to our youth now. You understand? Look at what's happening. And I think they got their head. One of them got their head down. It's blurred out, but he got his head down, brothers and sisters. Give me some more. What verse we up? I'm sorry.
I said totally humbled.
Totally humble, man. Like buck broken. They buck broke these brothers, man. And listen, for even in quote unquote sport, it's still a shameful act because you don't allow this to happen. Who are they parents? You understand? Who holds guardianship over these young men?
Yeah, where's the father?
Right.
I ain't gonna even say the parents, and this is why, because in everything there's a dynamic. Like your mother is not your line of defense. She wasn't built to be that line of defense. She was built to be that nurturer. She was built to be compassionate. She was built to, comfort. That father is that line of defense, man. That father is that one who, stands in the gap. And as a people, boy, like I was having that conversation earlier today with Kazak at camp, I don't think we really, as a nation, really are going to appreciate our fathers missing in mass from houses.
Yeah.
I don't think we really get that nuclear bomb that's been dropped on us.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why today we have all this bother. I think half this mental shit is because there was no stability in the house. That, and these kids suffering with different levels of these PTSD. That's why they had to be medicated so goddamn much and doing all this wild ass shit. But where's the father? Like, okay, even in school, the teachers, the PE teachers, the coaches, music teachers, a boundary is set by who comes to pick the child up.
Mm-hmm.
That child jumps on the bus or takes an Uber, that child is vulnerable. If that child has some mother coming in there with booty shorts on, that child is vulnerable. Some nigga pulling up in a, Impala or, a Chevy, something that, brothers like to drive. I'm pulling out there with the beard and the gold teeth and the shades or something else where the look that people in education don't like to see walking through school doors, they don't mess with that child. They don't mess with that child because they don't want to have to deal with that food. Right. They don't want to. Sometimes it's good to be that food.
Right. It's a deterrent.
It's good to be that food so that your children don't end up like this on the goddamn. This nigga have on checkerboard drawers out.
Right.
The whole world to see.
Right. So Lockie, if I can too, Cap.
Please,
what you're saying is so right, man, and it's something that all of our brothers and sisters that's under the sound of our voice should pay attention to, because you got to understand, we're talking football, and it takes a certain level of aggression to play these sports, especially football. It takes, like, they want them on the field to be what they consider toxic masculinity, to be very aggressive. You understand? In order to compete.
Right.
And remember what the General Commander GEN.YAHANNA taught us, that sports is simulated warfare.
Yeah.
So what happens between the end zone and the locker room, that level of aggression is muted, is turned off.
Yep.
Till you get to this. Like, if you want to understand the psyche of the brainwashing that goes on with us, this should be a case study right here.
Yeah.
You understand? Can I get the last few scriptures, my brother? What verse we on?
Verse 15, sir.
Come on.
And joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief.
You see that? Because we integrated, join yourself to the heathen. That's a code word for integration,
right?
Or assimilation. And they were sold. Like we have a simulated auction here, Exhibit A,
right,
to do mischief. And that mischief shames the nation. It shames other black people on campus. Now other students going to have to fight all week now. Now everybody else going to have to, we got to show them we ain't playing. Like, you got to make an example out of these kids now. What you think the other black students going to have to do now? You take 3 of them and mock them like this. Now everybody can show this in the school and make it a joke. Now you put pressure on us as a people in that school. These are the things that they don't want to talk about. But the UPK is always tip of the spear when it comes to these issues. And see, these civil rights people run from stories like these. I noticed this. I'm starting to get a pattern on you so-called Negroes. When we have these talks and these city halls and things like this. You run from stuff like this. You don't want to see it. You rather talk about police brutality because it fits the narrative. And we understand that. But let's talk about this.
Right.
Let's talk about integration and how it has damaged us. You don't want to talk about that because then you have to backtrack on the whole civil rights movement that you see that you try to uphold as your legacy. You don't want to deal with the fact that you made a mistake.
Right.
So like I yield, sir.
Yeah, you're right. Like they once again, nobody want to take blame for anything, but they're quick to point the finger at these young brothers. So all of a sudden, these young brothers are gonna be the problem, right? I want to know who the hell was filming, because I somehow I think that's administration and not another player, like some assistant coach or the equipment manager or some dumbass. Somehow I don't think that's another student filming. The way how they walk in and the dude hold the door open for them. Yeah. Like, I don't even think so. You know what I mean? I think it's one of them. If I could, I just want to give me about 5 minutes with this point. And it's down there both what Kahan and Sakawar was saying with the stages of hazing. Right? Now, this is a couple paragraphs from a book called $40 Million Slaves. Some of you all might have been familiar with the book written by William C. Roden, right? The book came out back in 2000s, and it definitely rocked the sports world with the amount of insight and the whole psychology with recruiting these athletes. And there's a chapter here, chapter 7. It's called The Conveyor Belt, the dilemma of alienation. If you could read this here from me. Right, this is a quote from the book.
When you control a man's thinking, you do not have to worry about his actions.
Say that again.
When you control a man's thinking, you do not have to worry about his actions.
Go ahead.
You do not have to tell him to stand here or go yonder. He will find his proper place.
And you don't have to tell these brothers, get naked and stand there like you're on a slave block. These brothers gonna find their proper place. Go ahead.
And will stay in it.
And they'll stay in that place. Which is like what you said. Now, this is as Sakawar was breaking down, this is sort of some initiation into being in the good crowd, in the players that's coachable. That's what they say. He's coachable. He's not coachable. You understand? He's a troubled player. We can't just work with him. So now you don't make it onto the conveyor belt. The whole concept of the conveyor belt system, of course, they have different names for it now since this book came out and all these rules changed with the NCAA. But that conveyor belt system was, once you're a certain type of player in high school or student athlete, let me put it like that. Once you're a certain type of student athlete, you get put on that conveyor belt like at a grocery store, from the back straight to the front, non-stop till it's time to check out. Right? You get put on that and you just going all the way through because you're the type of player that doesn't rock the boat. You don't make political statements. You're down for whatever. You're down for anything. You're not standing up for anything. You get the point? Is that it? Go ahead, please.
You do not need to send him to the back door. He will go without being told.
You don't need to send him to the back door. He'll just go there without being told. Once again, referring to the slave mentality. Right. He know to go around back. Right? Go ahead.
In fact, if there is no back door, he will cut one for his special benefit. His education makes it necessary.
Yeah, his education makes it necessary. You understand? And this was a quote he quoted from the Miseducation of the Negro. Right? He's quoting this because this is how they want us to be, and this is why they removed the fathers from the house, because the fathers would control the mind of the sons. The fathers will always give the sons conscience, and daughters too, and wives too. That father figure, remember, the Lord gave his spirit to the brothers. He gave his spirit to the men. He gave his authority to the men, and everybody should fall up under that. And that's how they get the spirit of the Lord from him.
Right.
Once he's not there, the whole house is blown wide open. So now who's controlling the minds of your children? The goddamn TV.
Right.
And now your sons is naked on a TV, cupping their groin in dumbass drawers, pretending to be a slave on a slave auction.
Right.
You understand? Like this is a on purpose environment that is created for our young boys as they pursue education for the quote unquote love of a sport that would never love them back.
Right.
If you could turn to page 178, please.
Okay.
Page 178. Once again, this is the same book, $40 Million Slaves, page 178. Yeah, read everything on that page that's underlined.
Okay. On the conveyor belt, young athletes quickly learn that easy passage through a white-controlled system is contingent upon not rocking the boat.
Say that one more time.
On the conveyor belt, young athletes quickly learn that easy passage through a white-controlled system is contingent upon not rocking the boat.
Right? Easy passage through a white-controlled system is dependent upon not rocking the boat, meaning don't make them feel uncomfortable. Make these white people feel as comfortable as possible. So Kanye West wears, White Lives Matter. Right? It's not about his physical features. I'm just here to see Jesus. You understand? Like all that is a part of their wider society with how they deal with us. But it's very much focused in the education system as it pertains to school and sports. Right? Keep going.
And not being a troublemaker.
And you know what?
A troublemaker.
Go ahead.
And making those in positions of power feel comfortable with the athlete's blackness.
Say that one more time.
And making those in positions of power feel comfortable with the athlete's blackness.
Say it one more time for the people in the back.
And making those in positions of power feel comfortable with the athlete's blackness.
This is them making white kids feel comfortable with the athlete's blackness. This is just part of being an American student in American school playing American sports.
That's right.
You have to make them feel comfortable with your blackness. Even though on tape, though your face is blurred, we could see you're physically uncomfortable.
Right.
We could see it. Your head is hanging, Negro. We could see that you're covering up your groin because you're shamed. Like a woman, how she'd cover her breast area. Like if she wearing something too tight or too skimpy, and you see a man looking, she immediately does this thing here because she's uncomfortable. And that's this. Keep going.
Okay. How tough is it to buy an inner city kid?
Right? This is a question. This William C. Rhoden, he went on to interview an agent or a recruiter. And this is how he led off this paragraph. Read it one more time.
How tough is it to buy an inner city kid?
So now, in fact, you can mute your thing again a little, just bumping or buzzing coming back. So what? Go ahead. Say it again.
How tough is it to buy an inner city kid?
See, how tough is it to buy an inner city kid, which is the majority of your student athletes. Even if they come from the countries of South Carolina or Mississippi somewhere, it's still the same principle that's applied. The inner city kid. Go ahead.
Buy him some shoes.
Do what?
Buy him some shoes.
Go ahead.
Take him to dinner. Get him some nice clothes. Maybe a car. You become his best friend and he gets hooked like a junkie.
Now, this is an agent giving his quote on how easy it is to get these kids to come to a school. Now you see why Deion Sanders is such a threat to the establishment. I can't even say a threat to the sport, to the establishment.
Right.
How easy it is to get an inner city kid? Treat him like a hoe.
That's right.
Make it and let him reenact the most traumatic thing in the history of the world.
Right.
For the enjoyment of the oppressor. Buy him some Jordans, take him to dinner, give him a few expensive clothes, some Balenciagas like Kanye, maybe a car, depending on how much points he could give you. And he's like a hoe, like a junkie.
Right.
Keep going.
Then you control the product.
Then you control the product. These brothers here are called a product. not athletes, not people, but a product. Remember that bitch from Fox News told LeBron, shut up and dribble. Because
Right.
he's a product. Right. He's not a person. So you shouldn't talk. He's a product, something that's made. Right. And made and placed on the conveyor belt and just pushes through society.
Right.
Go ahead.
The secret is controlling the product early.
Say it again.
The secret is controlling the product early.
The secret is doing what?
It's controlling the product early.
Now, to control the product early, you had to get rid of the father.
Right.
You have to get rid of the father in that house.
That's a lot.
The father is going to say, nah, he ain't going there.
Right.
I want him close to home. You go in there for what? All they're giving you is this, Jordan. Man, tell them you have this and that. Let them come and pay.
Right.
Because you want to jump in?
No, what you're saying is so right. And if the father don't got integrity, they'll buy him. They'll put him on the payroll.
They'll buy him too.
You know what I'm saying? What you're saying is so right, because you look at AAU, which is why our leaders supposed to be a firewall from this type of predatory behavior. Because you know these kids, some of these kids, man, they have natural talent coming out of these inner cities, man, areas. Some of these, I seen one boy, man. This kid right here was, I want to say he's already 7 feet at 16 years old. I've seen him in a college camp. I mean, but they, once again, Nike's giving them bags of shoes, giving them a watch, giving them the hat, giving them a jumpsuit. They say, we just want you to wear it in a tournament. They give these kids these types of things, man. Give them passes to Disney World when they go to different tournaments in Florida.
Right.
All these different things that happen. They have a whole camp and they meet, once again, like you said, they turn these children in they're products.
Yeah.
But if we had a firewall of leadership like we supposed to, like what we have in the I.S.U.P.K, you wouldn't be able to come in our community and say, we're going to just give them this. Because there's always strings attached, not just the shoestrings, but it's always strings attached to what they give you.
Right.
The Bible says a gift destroyed the heart. So I yield, Captain.
Definitely. That's definitely what it do. And like as you say, if the father, we did pay him, and part of the proof for that is the mothers get paid. Like y'all remember that famous college draft where the mother was dressed, I think, in the Gators. It was a Gators school with an alligator, and the brother took the hat off and put on the next one. And the mother got up right there and walked the hell off, like, nigga, what the hell is you doing? Because she done took money from the other school. Right. You get the point? Let me get a little bit more from that book.
It's just like slavery.
Oh, say that. Read the line before. Hold on. Walking through it. I put it in. Put slack it. Get them it slow.
Then you control the product.
Then you control the product. Go ahead.
The secret is controlling the product early.
The secret is controlling the product early.
It's
young. Go ahead.
It's just like slavery.
It's just like what?
It's just like slavery.
It's just like what?
It's just like slavery.
And look, these brothers is doing this thing just like slavery.
Right.
Up there on the auction block. Just like slavery. Right.
In fact, among many athletes who reach the professional level, their greatest fear is having to return to the community.
Now listen, he said, in fact, for many athletes who reach the top professional level, their greatest fear is having to return back to the community. Now I want you all to take a look at this. I was looking for the video, but I can't get to play the video because I guess it's quote unquote pornographic. Now you all know this guy, right? Anthony Davis. They call him the Brow. Everybody know him, right? He plays with LeBron. They make fun of him because he always injured. When he was, I think this was Duke, whatever school he went to. I believe it was Duke.
It was Kentucky, sir. Kentucky.
I think they won the championship or some after some game, and his teammates stripped him naked in the locker room and spanked his ass out, spanking him like a hoe. And you see this bottom picture here? That was his face, brother. You see how his face looks like a little girl? Let me see if I can get a better picture of his face. This is him on the ground.
Oh, my goodness.
And they have him naked on the ground. They totally took his clothes off and was beating him on his buttocks, Salakia, like a girl.
Like his bare ass.
Like his, I mean, his bare ass, as the doll has said. I mean, totally just naked. And it was seen as good old healthy American fun. It was seen as there was nothing wrong with stripping this grown man naked and touching his cheeks over and over. And he's smiling and laughing like, no, it's enough. Right. Because this is your final product. Right. This is your final product. And this is where it starts. It starts with these kind of dumbass little Asian bullshit, just like slavery. Right. Naked young, naked old for the entertainment of the master, right, to make everybody feel comfortable and happy. Right. But if them big, strong fathers is wrong, you know damn near don't have to say nothing. You just show up in school. Oh, you here to pick up your daughter? You here to pick up your son? And they're trying to make you smile because there's like, well, maybe if I make him smile, he ain't gonna look so mean to make me feel uncomfortable, right? Like fathers is absolutely needed. Just the sight of you, black man, it changes the aura in the room. It changes the dynamic in the room, right? It's needed because this shit here, I mean, I can't tell you, y'all know the old school. Your parents see some shit like this, brother. You ain't showing up for the rest of the season and you getting welts. You coming up to school with welts the next day. You had to wear long sleeves and sit down easy on that damn chair because you're coming to school with welts.
They're gonna think you was a slave when they get they're gonna think you was a slave when you get that butt whooping.
Exactly. Parents gonna tell you, I sent you to school with clothes. What you doing naked? Where's all the good clothes I bought you? Yeah. And what is that goofy underwear? And you're getting more licks for the goofy underwear. They'll tear you out the frame from it. But what we not seeing is the greater plot, which is to make a product that's so, non-threatening and comfortable for white people to digest so that we could go on the football field and get CTE and break our hips and break our knees for their entertainment, and then while we die in the street, just shut up and dribble, play basketball, let somebody strip you naked in the locker room, where the media be. Right. The media people be walking through there, niggas walking through naked, all kind of shit. How you think they get to that point where grown men is comfortable like that? Right. Because it starts with this bullshit here. Right. It's ridiculous, bro.
And Salakia, I hate to cut in on you too, but you're saying it's so heavy. In that, you know what I mean, like it's okay, we seeing it, and I think they're seeing it too, to a point whereas they know that they're being slaves. They know that they're slaves. They know it. Yeah. But as you say, is the willingness to be it and to act like it doesn't exist. We just bouncing ball. That's it.
That's it.
But you're a slave, nonetheless. You know what I mean? So as I said, they were just entertaining the white counterparts that was playing with them, just trying to make them feel comfortable that, you know what I mean, we can make these type of jokes, you know what I mean, and you know what I mean, we not the bad ones, right? You know what I mean? When it's, you know what I mean, it's stupid.
Yep.
Slacky Cap. Just to go back to that video of Anthony Davis, man, like I remember watching that video and I'm like, damn, what the hell is going on, right? And in that video, when he's the dude is trying to pull his pants down and he's laying on his stomach and he's like, okay, y'all can see my ass, but don't see my rod. Like he's not trying to show his rod. And the cat that's doing that to him and smacking his butt, he's trying to pull him over so they could see his rod. I'm like, damn.
Bro, that's why I wanted to show the video. But I'm like, the video is so pornographic because that's what he was doing. You so right on. Like they was trying to take his full pants off and turn him over. And he is not like, this is a big dude. This is like 6'9", 6'10", something like that. He is a giant. And he didn't swing one time. He ain't threaten nobody. He ain't do no wild shit. He just on the ground laughing like, like you might play with your woman in the room and tickle her and take her clothes off and she laughing. No, but she really into the game. He laughing like that with these niggas are. And they're trying to pull him over and shame him before the whole world. And the video got out, bro.
That was wild.
And if I may, and like what all you captains are saying is so heavy with the importance of a father. I mean, okay, I went to a couple of different high schools. We moved around a lot, and so I started high school and it was a all black high school in North Carolina, and then we moved up here to Virginia, and I went to a school in Virginia. And me and my brother, we were both on the football team in this school. It was a majority white school. And I remember the coach came to us, was a white dude, and he wanted me and my brother to play. So we got on the team. And I remember everything this book is saying about rocking the boat and being a troublemaker. That's what they called me and my brother, because we would never stick around in the locker room after games. Mm-hmm. We never took showers. And it came from us having our pops. It's like, nigga, that's gay. You know what I'm saying? Don't take, like, we were so trained as boys, like we didn't even take our shirts off around niggas, because and all we could hear was our pops is like, bro, that's gay. And so we would be in the locker room when they in there playing all them gay games and smacking each other in the rod and all that stuff. And me and my brother, like, bro, y'all on some other type of stuff going on right here. So we would leave. And I remember that even that spirit is contagious, because after a while, other brothers start seeing me and my brother leave. Right, and they would start leaving too, but it got so bad as far as they tried to make us feel bad. The cats that stayed, the devils that stayed, that me and my brother ended up quitting the team the next year. Like we said, nigga, my brother quit mid-season, but I was like, nigga, I'm gonna see the season out to the end because I'm getting playtime. But the next season, he was done with that, and I was like, man, I was gonna go in the band. Forget all that. I'm gonna go in the band, and you ain't gotta take clothes off. Yeah, it's women in the band, and you know. We'll just do that, because this right here is I won't suffer my masculinity to be accepted for a game, for anything, but especially not for a game. And that's having a father there. So most times,
hey, Salaki, Captain Shaw, you about to pull a preset?
No, I was going to read something else from the book, but go ahead, please.
If you don't mind, it's just to tap onto your point. If you could. Kazak, can you pull me Mark 3:27 out? And just to go back to what you were saying about you said something, Cap. I just want to mention, man, Deion Sanders, he had to get his toe amputated. You know what I mean? So he out there with, I think, 9 toes now because of something that happened during football. You know what I mean? So just another thing, it was something you said about injury and something like that. I want to just point that out.
Yeah, like the CTE is such a big thing.
That part, yeah.
That CTE, that ACL getting torn, whether it's football or basketball, that ACL just always seems to go. That CTE is huge in the football now. And I honestly think ESO is dumbing down the numbers, because, I mean, children get concussions very easily. I don't care what that helmet got in it. It not holding that brain steady. It reducing the impact on the outside, but that force still going through and all. That force still going through. Like, you can wear a bulletproof vest. That bullet hits you, it's still gonna hurt. It's gonna do something to you. And it's the same thing. So they're talking about, like, this thing is such a safe sport. Like, this is not safe for black men, man. Like, we need brothers to have their brains and their faculties. Like, you know how much brothers, injure themselves to make it to the NFL and don't even make it. And then the ones that get there, good night.
Right. So, if I could just say one thing for Cap Gadar, go back to it. But like what you're saying is so right. You got cats in the league, man, that's 250 pounds or more, solid, running a 4 flat.
Yeah. Yep.
Now you got to peak. You know, that's like a Volkswagen hitting you.
Yeah.
A small boat, like going 60 miles per hour or something like, you know what I'm saying, with a helmet on, and he's hitting you waistline up.
Yeah, sometimes the head-to-head
20 times a game.
Exactly. So we talking about, like you said, this solid muscle hitting you running a 4 flat, and imagine if he pick up speed, if he get a couple yards ahead, and he full impact. What we talking about here, man?
That's a lot. If I could, the whole entire point of the sport is to hurt somebody. Like I played on the offensive line. Every play, every design in the run, every blocking scheme is designed to hit them in the ear hole. Like the whole sport is designed to put somebody on a stretcher and get them off the field, and that's how we win. You know what I mean?
So ridiculous.
It's
absolutely ridiculous. Like, I was just real quick. I was watching, some of these reports on that CTE, and Esau knows. He break it down to a science. They say the lowest impact for that CTE is that offensive line and that defensive line. They say that chances again, the CTE is like maybe between 10 and 30%. 60% chance of getting it is the quarterback, wide receivers, running back, corners, them niggas who operating at high speed. Right. They say the high speed, that's where the danger is, because that helmet is like a blind side. You're not seeing shit. No. And once you lose it, it's a wrap.
And the smaller too.
And the smaller. Right.
Yeah, you think,
but they they're a little smaller and moving with that pace.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Like, they don't give a damn. They really don't give a damn about us, man. Like, you know what I mean? Slucky,
and still at 200 pounds. Come, if you can read that for me, Baba Sir.
Come. Mark chapter 3, verse 27. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man. And then
and what you were saying, Cap, real quick, so like what you were saying, Cap, was so heavy. Like these cats come into these brothers' house, and you talking about recruiting trips, right? You talking about them coaches, whether it be the, some scout, maybe the offensive line coach that comes see you because he the regional scout for that area. He comes sit down in your apartment or in your house, talk to your mother and your grandmother because you don't have a father, and he's giving them all the good words and all that. Now, just a sidebar, real quick. Lamar Jackson doesn't have a contract right now because his mother represents him. They don't respect her. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. They ain't about to deal with her.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of brothers, they go get their mother to represent them, and the white agents or the white men and the general managers, they look at them like, yeah, okay, whatever. We're gonna play this out there. You know what I'm saying? So they come into they sit in that house. They sit in that house just to go back what Captain Kahud said too, about what Terrell Owens said about Deion Sanders coming down and sitting down and talking to that boy's mother and grandmother, Travis Hunter. And he told him some real game, and they was able to trust him. They can't trust these white coaches because the white coaches is only there to exploit them. You know what I mean? Is only there to exploit them. And having a father, he can recognize that. But of course, when you don't have a father, now you're up for whatever. You keep going a little bit.
Come. Verily, I say unto you, Slacky, start reading from the top.
If you don't mind, yeah.
Yeah, come. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man. And
right.
Then,
the problem is we bound up though. We out of there. You know what I'm saying? We not in that house. We not in that child's life protecting them. What you said about picking your kids up in school and looking the part, that's exactly how we need to go pick up our kids. So they look at us like, yeah, we can't touch that kid. That kid is protected. Because that cat come over here, he gonna cause a whole damn problem. Just because how you coming up bumping music at your kid's school. Yeah. The whole faculty know, oh goddamn. Like, here he come. Here he come looking ignorant and crazy as hell.
Yep.
Because you know what I mean? And that's something absolutely no one wants to do. I remember my pops used to come pick me up from school. He come just like that. And everybody around is like, oh, damn, that's your pops. Like, yeah, man, that's my dad, man. Like, they like, damn, like, oh, shit. I don't got a pops. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish I had a pops that come bumping music so everybody know that he's a gangster. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
and I don't have a gangster at my crib.
It's just the vision of black men. That's really it. The vision of a black man just coming through. It changes a whole lot. You know what I mean? It definitely changes a whole lot. And as a people, we really pray. And I really, like I said before, I don't think as a people we understand the level of attack. Like they're talking about nukes with Putin and stuff. Like fathers out the homes. Like, okay, this devil just said to create the perfect product, you have to control them young. So then imagine the difference in the product if the father is in the home young.
Right.
If the father is in the home and the son or the daughter witnesses the mother yield to the father. Hey, baby, go get that for me. Okay. Did you get this done today? Man, did I tell you to do that? Oh, I forgot. All right, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Or, witness that whole exchange.
Right.
I mean, like you wonder, you see, just a sidebar, you see so much of these sisters today just so lost and dumb and opinionated about nothing. And it's really because they didn't have a father in the house. They didn't have that anchor weighing the boat down. That's what that father is, heavy. He's heavy. That's why when he come in the house, he don't even want to be around because he's heavy. He's heavy. He come in there and he weighs the boat down, holds it steady so it don't get tossed around in the wind at sea. And that's how our houses are right now. The mother can't handle that damn hell, man.
Right.
Up there in the helm trying to, hold the damn ship steady, and the waves is overpowering her. Right.
So like
please
now what you saying is so right. That's why they hate them NIL deals, them name, image, and likeness deals. And remember, the coach of Alabama, he brought up Deion Sanders. When he recruited that boy, he brought him up in a slanderous way, saying, how we gonna look at what's going on with Jack? They paying these kids all this money. Meanwhile, that's what the schools was doing with the white schools. But he was doing it, not to exploit them, but to elevate them. Right. Like what you said, like I remember a story Jerome Bettis was saying, like, when he started to get up in high school and make a name for himself, how he challenged his father in the yard and how his father knocked the snot out of him. You know what I'm saying? he thought because he had arrived, playing high school football by the All-American, that he could challenge his father. He was selling tickets to the neighborhood and everything, saying, today we're gonna show down in the yard and I'm gonna beat my father. And sure enough, he ended up on his back in the yard with snot out of his nose. You know what I'm saying? So like that's right. So that father figure is important. And even when you go back to the Bible, the dynamic of a household, you know what I'm saying? You got a man that got 4 or 5 sons, and he bridles his son's strength.
Yeah.
You got power with that.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I'm saying? They have sons and so forth. That's how you build a household. That's what they don't want. They don't want a man to control his sons. Because if you can control your sons, you control, you know what I'm saying? You control strength.
Yeah, you control the nation.
Bible says, right. The Bible says an aged man is for his wisdom and a young man is for his strength.
Right.
The combination of the two is dangerous when you add the national element to your race.
Yeah.
So like I yield.
No sweat. I mean, listen, I don't know. Did I how you was finished with yours? I don't know if you got cut off early.
No, I was just saying, like, today we just spoiled. That's we spoiled. Without that father, without that protection, without that hedge, we spoil. You know what I mean?
We just there for the taking, to be honest. You know what I mean? That's really what it is. You know what I mean? But once again, they would pass laws and they would secure the fathers in Ukraine, though. They would secure fathers in Ukraine. They'll secure fathers in Uganda, in Taiwan, and Hong Kong. That was just in UK with the brothers. I found a horrendous story the UK government is doing with Hong Kong right there in the UK. While deporting Benjamites, bringing these Hong Kong bastards in and giving them free housing and jobs and education and putting them somewhere up in the North Coast countryside where nobody's seeing them. Brother, I couldn't believe the whole everything. Brother, they build these brand new houses and is video chatting these bastards in Hong Kong, showing them the fucking house. Excuse my language. Right? Showing them the house. And they say they're coming over there with so much money into the UK, they could buy 2 and 3 houses and rent them houses out while living in one. Like, they don't understand how bad they're doing us so wrong, Right. But once again, our households don't mean nothing. Right. And see, Biden passed how much? 416 million for Ukraine to aid Ukraine's military. Let's get that story on Biden with the nukes that he's scared of. Meanwhile, they don't drop nukes on our family, and nobody care about it. You know what I mean?
Has not been this high since the Cuban Missile Crisis, amid the threats from Vladimir Putin. The president saying Putin is not joking. As the Russians face serious setbacks in Ukraine, President Biden saying the threat of the use of nuclear weapons has not been this high since Kennedy and Cuba. President Biden also acknowledging the administration is asking what so many around the world, what so many here in the U.S. are asking. President Biden asking, quote, what is Putin's off-ramp? Our chief White House correspondent, Cecilia Vega, leading us off tonight from the White House.
Tonight, with the war going badly for Russia, tonight.
Let it go, man. Let it go. And the American saucy and the rockets that fly, let it go.
Tonight, with the war going badly for Russia, the strongest warning yet from President Biden, saying when Vladimir Putin threatens to use nuclear weapons, he, quote, is not joking. No cameras allowed in the New York City fundraiser, but the White House confirming the president went on to say, quote, we have not faced the prospect of Armageddon since Kennedy and the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Now, I don't know if Biden is just making a play for elections, because if you can't buy the public, you could just lead the public into a war, and you damn near going to guarantee your next 4 years. Because you start the right war, there's no candidate that wants to come in and finish your bullshit. You're going to stay in there and do that. So who the hell knows? But if the war is going so bad for Russia, why would he use the damn nuclear weapons? Right. You know what I mean?
Why would they blow up the pipeline?
Why would they blow up? Exactly. Pipeline lines. I put an S on that one. There's a few of them he done, you know. The nigga playing Monopoly with their eyesight. He taking things off the board. Right.
Zalaki, if I could too, they just blew up a bridge. The bridge between Crimea and Russia just got blew up. I want to say this morning, early late last night, a bridge got blew up, and then on top of that, you got see, Putin, they started to steal a lot of Russian flags in Africa for all you Pan-Africanists. And they accusing Russia of getting resources from Africa. So, like I said, he ain't really showing his hand all the way. But he just annexed 4 quadrants or 4 zones that would make them not be a landlocked country. You know what I'm saying? They said that it was an unlawful annexation. But they basically have a referendum now. And he said in the referendum that this is a correction of history, and I quote, welcome home, end quote. That's what he said to those countries that part of Ukraine, sections of Ukraine that went back, that joined Russia through a vote. So he said that we corrected history by this day. He had a big celebration and everything, man. So you can't believe everything they talking about on the media, because trust and believe, it ain't a one-sided thing with Russia. They probably losing some ground, but best believe he got other tricks up his sleeve.
Yep, they're losing ground that they're giving. Yeah. It's not like they're losing ground. That's like strategic, moves where they ain't lose. Damn, that nigga light that whole bitch up. They're giving the ground. It's military stuff. They ain't losing the ground. They're giving ground, right, on purpose. You know what I mean? And for sure, okay. Biden, this week Biden come out and say how he's gonna, overturn all these marijuana charges. Once it's not trafficking, once you were sentenced with weed for personal use, no matter the amount, he's setting you free. Right. So they making moves to secure the seat in the election, because Biden approval rating is at an all-time low right now.
Right.
If they call elections right now, Trump left shoe would beat Biden.
Right. Right.
Left socks would beat
Biden.
Hey,
Cap. Look, the only way I see them Democrats winning is they wipe away student debt for good. That's the only way. You got to completely wipe away student. Other than that, I don't see him winning.
I ain't even think that's enough at this point.
Right.
I think at this point that ain't even enough. You had to wipe away student debt and then come with a bigger stimulus than what Trump did. Because remember, even that stimulus that the whole country was receiving, that wasn't Biden's shit. That was shit Trump put in place that they just had to pay out. So they can't even get credit for that. Right. So they had to do what they had to do now. You know what I mean? They had to do what they had to do now. And of course, Putin, like that statement you read when he said welcome home. I don't know if you remember last year. He stood up in a news conference and said, you know, he was talking to Ukraine saying, don't buy into all these, you know, the reports on the media and the West. We the same people fighting an old war. Don't listen to them. We family. And he's right. That whole Russian region, all of them is them sons of them goddamn Vikings that came down from, you know, north, the Rus Kiev and Vladimir and all of them. They really them Viking people that was just conquering that whole region, making deals with Constantinople, making deals with the Mongolian Empire back then to stay east. And they would send them furs. And that's even why today they still have that alliance, because historically they've had that whole region. I mean, remember, Kiev used to be the capital before it moved to Moscow.
Yeah.
So they're really the same people. So he damn near, like Trump was talking about making America great again. Like that nigga really about reuniting Russia. Right.
Mm-hmm.
He's really about putting it together and coming back in. Everybody gonna be serving Odin in a second. They're gonna be serving Odin and Thor and the Wood God and Floki and riding in boats in a second with this food. Right.
Yeah.
I don't think there's nothing they could do for him. They're sending millions over there for Ukraine military. Meanwhile, you know, Mississippi can't get no drinking water. Florida, forget about it, man.
So
Florida is torn out the frame, man.
If I could too, sir. Again, this American media, they portraying, you know, they making it seem like, oh, it's just the innocent Ukrainians and Putin is so evil and so wicked. When in the minds of Putin, they fighting for their goddamn existence. You know what I'm saying? Because who knows what Biden was doing over there with them Ukrainians and with all of that funding and that money they were sending over there. Who knows what, you know, Esau always got some clandestine activity going on. There's always something that, you know, the media don't really be reporting on that be going on. So in the minds of Putin and they fighting for their existence. The same thing with China. Biden out there making statements like, yeah, Taiwan, we're going to support y'all militarily, meaning that's a complete threat to China and their sovereignty. You know what I'm saying? Over there in Ukraine, you're going to take over Crimea, which is like Captain Kahan said, that's their only, that's the only way that Russia is not landlocked, is to be able to have access to the goddamn, I think it's the Caspian Sea or the Black Sea over there. Like, you can't be a military superpower on the earth and think you're going to bully everybody else into submission. Like, maybe that was something that you know, the 70s and the 80s they tolerated, but they didn't allow China to get PlayStations. You know what I'm saying? They didn't they didn't get the microchips to be able to tap into the metaverse. Like, these countries are advanced. They didn't found out the game that Esau over here was playing with their intelligence agencies. They've copied it, they've replicated it, and now they're on the offensive. China's on the offensive, Russia's on the offensive. And all America is doing is trying their best to save face, you know what I'm saying, before this whole thing blows over. But this is a very real threat. But for them to be saying it to us in the media, meaning saying it over here in America, Biden and them is definitely, Putin and them is definitely making some legitimate threats that got Esau on you know, on alert. Because the very next step after a warning like this is, we need you to sign up and fight. We need you to come protect democracy. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to continue. This type of talk is going to continue to gear up until it comes around to the election. If you go back and look at the past 4 elections in America, 2 years preceding the election, there's some type of war, there's some type of great threat, there's some type of danger that's lurking in the midst, and America's got to be ready to defend itself. It was the same thing with Bush and them after 9/11. It was the same thing when it came time for the, you know, second Bush election with Kerry, and then we're going to continue to war on you know, war in the Middle East. And then when Obama came along, Obama was very strong in his language about what he was going to do out there in the Middle East and about what he was going to do with immigration, which is why when he took over under the Barack Obama presidency, he deported more people in his 8 years in office than in any other time previous in America. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's conversations that's being had politically that's setting the stage for what's going to take place over the next 2, 3, 4 years. And right now, everybody is posturing themselves like this thing gonna go to the next level. And it's important for Biden and them to be able to appear to be strong and to be ready to take it as far as it's willing to go, because that's how he gonna be able to get them votes and secure another 4 years in office for them Democrats. But I don't right now in any other time, more than any other time in the history of this country, it seems like China and Russia ain't playing and they not laying down like they have before.
Listen, what he think is 4 more years. He think he gonna get 4 more years, but the Lord is drawing them into that third world war.
That's right.
That's really what's going on. Like he's using, all this natural resource crisis, the global warming bullshit, the just coming out of COVID. A lot of these economies still have not recovered from them 2 years of drought. You know what I mean? 2 years of nothing that the Lord done put the earth down with. A lot of these economies haven't really caught back yet, and they're still reeling. I'm talking about these first world countries. They're still reeling. You know what I mean? So they just proposing and moving things into play, because that Middle East region, everything there from that East Coast of Africa back over to Russia, that shit is going to be a hotbed in a short second. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous. Go ahead.
Now, what you're saying, right, Kat? I think the prophecy said that Russia gonna take all that back.
Yep.
They gonna Russia gonna take all that back, man. That's with them hooks, like you said. They get close to that Caspian, that Black Sea. They're not gonna be landlocked no more.
No.
And like I said, they're spotting Russian submarines close to Alaska now. You know what I'm saying? So America's sending all them weapons and stuff and all that money. Once you get over some of them areas, it go dark. You can't see them like, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no every communication is over there, military being monitored. They scrambling. You don't know where them resources going through. So they giving them all that money blindly. It could be going right. The Russians can intercept that stuff as soon as it hit the dock.
Yeah.
As soon as it hit those areas, man. So like you're saying, these things gonna escalate even more. And when they use the certain battle terms, when they use the term that we fighting for our existence, just know that it's a fight to the death.
Yeah.
When they say fight, they ain't saying fighting for
freedom.
Yeah, you're right. They when they say fight for existence, that means it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
So and then keep in mind, you got Iran. They having a feminist movement over there now. That the women's movement, they are in uproar. They trying to lock down their border. So you got all these different countries that's being destabilized, and the war drums are getting louder and louder and louder. You understand? You got people fleeing. They talk about immigration. Is war gonna make a lot of people migrate to different areas? A lot of people leaving out of them regions, man. Because them tanks, and keep in mind, winter is coming. Over there in Russia. They're like when they waiting, Putin, a lot of them is waiting for that winter to set in. Cause they got access to a lot of that gas and oil around there. And
he just cut off 2 major pipelines.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he's getting ready to cripple them for this damn winter. You know what I mean? Like as you said, they think they're playing with a man who is about policy. It's not about no goddamn policy. You know what I mean? He wants his whole zone back.
Yeah. And it's so stupid too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for a country to think, America will go all the way with them. I would, if I was Ukraine, I'll be asking right now for some nukes. Send some nukes. You sending these, these second grade, crap. Send me the real thing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But America leave you out there. You know what I mean? Now Putin saying he gonna press the button and send the nukes. Where will America be?
Safe.
You need America before the nukes hit you.
Yeah.
America not gonna be there before the nukes hit you.
Yeah.
If I could too, Cap, what you saying so right, because they gotta see how America, like a lot of them countries they got abandoned, they saying America not gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Like they trying to, a lot of them other countries is making secret deals. Remember the Ukraine, they trying to get in with the Europe, what is it? The NATO.
Yeah.
They trying to hurry up and get in with NATO. But a lot of them countries, they know once you start getting in there, like, because if you attack one NATO ally, you attack all NATO allies.
That's what I think. That's what sparked it. That's what made Putin say, "No, y'all ain't doing that." is that NATO alliance. You remember he allowed them to be a separate nation, but still kind of under Russia, similar to how Hong Kong is with China and Taiwan is with China. They was allowed to be quote unquote separate entities geographically close to, so they still have some sort of authority over them. But the Ukraine get ambitious and want to go join NATO. And Putin was like, nigga, I gave you an inch.
Right. If I could, if I could, for Putin and them to let Ukraine become NATO is like allowing Mexico to become communist.
Yeah.
It's like you're absolutely tying my hands. And that's what I'm saying. With this whole situation, America's media portrays it as though Russia's the big bad guy, when in actuality they gave them no choice. They had no option but to defend themselves. You know what I'm saying? And even I watch some of the news and I'm hearing the reports about what's taking place in the battlefield, and they talking about how there's been a Russian sort of like a retreat where they given up a lot of the land that they had actually took in the war. But what they're saying is Russia is what they call it. I forget the term they used during World War II, but all of the land these Ukrainians are returning back to, these whole towns are demolished. All the buildings knocked down, all the infrastructure is destroyed. There's no electricity, there's no plumbing. So it's damn near like Russia did this whole thing just to create a stopgap. Like they created some space and some distance between them and the closest military threat. So even as Ukraine is taking back over some of these cities and getting back control of some of this land, they coming to find the area is absolutely, razed to the ground. And there's no way for any, these people not returning to no homes. They just returning to completely demolished buildings, burnt down roads, roads is torn up.
Campsite war. It's a death trap. That's where they going. That's where they going. Yeah. I told you, listen, let me tell you something. They going back into them areas. Like I said, look, they playing chess, not checkers. They going back and like most of them, they routing them areas. You get into a pocket where there's nothing, no resources there, and it's a death trap.
Yeah,
they don't even realize it. If he just annexed 4 quadrants of that area close to Russia, like what is that telling you? You know what I'm saying? And they did that by a vote.
Yeah.
They did that by a vote. When the last time you heard somebody doing a vote? That's area they conquered.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But once again, they said, oh, it's unlawful. Hey, man, all is fair in love and war, they say. He went over there and took the land, had the vote. Over all the traitors, they getting executed. They ain't showing that on TV. But like I said, it's a man, this thing right here is going there, man. This thing here is going all the way there. And the winter is right around the corner. They trying to move, trying to get settled in, because once that snow comes, wherever you at, unless you got a pair of reindeer and a sleigh that can fly to the North Pole. You know what I'm saying? You gonna have a hard time out there, man.
It's gonna be bad. They're already talking about certain European countries ain't gonna have enough money to heat their houses. They're already expecting people to freeze this winter.
They're gonna be frozen.
Yeah, they're already expecting it to happen. There's the other things Zelensky better look for. That when America does double cross him, and America will, when America does double cross him and leave him high and dry, them people under him is going to assassinate him. They're going to assassinate him and just go right back to Putin, and it'll be like he never even existed.
If I could, because here's what Putin knows. Putin knows that there's a fragility that exists within that Western system.
Yeah,
make the resources a little bit more scarce, and just make the darkness, make the clouds a little bit more darker, and they will turn and they will eat each other.
Yeah,
those Western European countries let the winter hit bad, and it's getting cold, and there ain't no gas coming through. Oh, the NATO is going to tear itself apart. You're gonna see Turkey say, "Listen, man, to hell with this shit. We're getting back in line with Syria and Iran." You're gonna see Germany and damn Switzerland saying, "Listen, France and England, I hear you, but we got to get down and lay down because we ain't about to freeze." Like, it's going to get really bad, and you're going to see these Western powers tear themselves apart from the inside out. Now, at least that's what the plan that Putin has in mind. You know what I'm saying?
And also, too, it seems Russia don't want to become a colony of America.
Right.
So they're fighting tooth and nail for that, you know what I mean, not to become one of them.
Yeah.
You know what I
Russia
mean?
trying to keep their fathers out.
Yeah.
Huh?
Russia trying to keep their fathers.
Yeah.
You know,
They
they
trying
trying to
to,
be like us.
yeah.
They ain't trying to go that route at all with it. But you know, the hypocrisy of this thing is ridiculous. Like he's spending more money. How much million did they say he sent?
Man, billions, Cap.
I think Tuesday he just approved a certain something 100 million just for the military alone.
Damn.
Like how you doing that and things getting inflated in your country? I don't. That you gotta explain that money to me, boy.
625 million. This was on Tuesday. This was October 4th.
If
like you don't have money, things going up in your country, and you able to send your money and equipments out.
If I could, Captain I thought it's they are creating money out of thin air, and he is at the expense of the people here. Meaning, all America's doing is completely weakening their position on the world stage. Because the more you generating this money out of nowhere and you driving up the inflation and driving down the value of the U.S. dollar, now that Russian ruble goes up. Now that Chinese, whatever that yang is, it goes up. You know what I'm saying? And you have all these different countries, like you know what I'm saying? All of these different conglomerates and nations are coming together to come up with their own currencies. You know what I'm saying? I don't forget the story that we did. It was a few months ago, but I don't know if it was Africa. The African nations was vying to come together to create a new currency in Africa that's based back on a gold standard, which is the same thing that Muammar Gaddafi was trying to do before they went there in Libya and had to shove the flag up his behind. You know what I'm saying? Like, these countries are seeing the writing on the wall, and they're seeing the game that America is playing, and they are gracefully bowing out. You know what I'm saying? So with what they're doing, they're trying to save face right now. They're trying to keep the image of America alive, the image of this strong Western power alive, when in reality, the system crumbled a long time ago, and right now we're just waiting for the fallout.
So, like, if I could, America has made itself it's like a proxy war. When you send that much money and weapons over there, now it's a proxy war now.
Yeah.
And Putin can see it. And this is just every time I'm so sick of hearing the Ukrainian national anthem. It sounds like funeral music. Every time I gotta see him begging. People like, yeah, the camera fixed. Yeah, what we need is every time we need to pull yourself up by your Ukrainian bootstrap. Okay, the goddamn Vietnamese, the Viet, they were fighting with rice and the fortune cookie hat and an AK-47. Okay, if you can't be that dependent on your own government to liberate yourself, then what the heck? Because it's really military welfare now.
Yeah,
and we brought this out before on the show. Captain Shock was talking about it. That this right here, when you got that much money, you talking about infrastructure building now. Yeah. You supposed to wait till the war over with to see who got the spoils, then you rebuild. The war, you in the middle of a war, sending all those resources. And Lord knows where they're going. Lord knows where they're going. They could be going, you don't know, they could be going to a paramilitary group. It's all kinds of groups that back up in that country. Yeah. You understand? You ain't just got people who loyal to Russia or loyal to Ukraine. You got mercenaries in there. And you can't expect mercy from a mercenary. He don't have allegiance to a country. His allegiance, he's a soldier of fortune.
Yeah.
His allegiance is to money.
Yeah, contracts.
Yeah, the jackals, the military, the hitman. That's who they coming there to kill. They got certain targets that they gonna target, and they doing it for money.
Yeah.
So like
the men singing to a flag in our oh my God!
Listen, in a second, Putin's gonna have them singing to the doctor. In a second, they're gonna be singing. They're gonna be calling for vodka. They're gonna be calling for it's gonna be rough on them, and it's good because as the scriptures say, there'll be wars, rumors of wars, but these wars that final war is ramping up now. It's definitely ramping up, and it's good that these countries is fighting each other. Like Russia and Ukraine is the same people.
China and Taiwan and Hong Kong is the same people. Them Pakistanis and them Indians is fighting now too. They're the same people. They're fighting each other because somebody is going to put their foot down and join them all together.
Right.
And that's every man returning to his own. Every man returning to his own. That ain't just a peaceful prophecy like people that's gonna pack their bags up and join their own people.
Right.
There's somebody who's gonna force everybody together.
Right.
Yeah.
There's somebody who just gonna go through the damn country and get down or lay down. And every man gonna return to his own because that valley of Jehoshaphat, brother, the stage is set. The stage is set, the camera rolling, the lights is on, and the audience is getting restless.
Right.
Time to start. Start the play. Raise the curtains up. And that's what the Lord doing with Putin and Biden and all these leaders. And what was the one from China name? I forget his name.
GGPing. Sound like a Pokemon. Sound like a Pokemon. Okay. GGPing.
GGPing. God damn it, GGPing. That's not even a name to fear, Right. Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un.
Sound like something in a pinball machine, like it's on Pac-Man or something.
GGPing. Yeah, Kim Jong-un. Yeah, he sound like a problem. Who is your leader? GGP. Right. What the fuck is that talking?
Right.
GGP. God damn it, man.
It's a damn shame.
Yes. $1 billion of y'all, that's the best y'all can find, GGP. Y'all gonna draw the lottery and get somebody else. You can get Jet Li, right? Somebody else.
He should at least put Shogun GG or something like at least go to the samurai, do something. You know what I'm saying? It's the year of the rat.
Oh, God, man. This nigga change your name to Shredder. God damn it. Change your name to Shredder. I ain't worried about that. Nigga, I ain't worried about that. Yeah, man. It's going to be good to see. I mean, in the meantime, of course, the homeland is coming apart at the seams. It's unraveling.
Right.
Like the streets is getting wilder. It's more crazy, random shit happening. The cops is losing their mind. I just read an article this week. DC police had to reinstate 37 cops who they fired 2 and 3 times in recent years. They fired them in 2015. They reinstated them in 2021. $14 million in back pay to these cops.
Wow.
Over 6 years. Some of them was real dumb shit. These niggas firing the gun in the house. Go into the gang calls to domestic abuse. The sergeant know these cops ain't shit, listening to the call, listening to the whole exchange. Right. They leave the domestic abuse call and write it down as a family disturbance. The sergeant go back to the house and see the broad face bust wide open up. And then had to write these damn fools up. And then, they was doing it so much, they end up getting fired. They were stealing overtime. One of them, they say he would just flash his badge and jump on the mark and ride to New York. And just do that shit over and over. Like real goofy shit. Now, there's some other shit too with, sexual assault, excessive force, that type of shit. There's some other shit. But then there's some real goofy shit. Like, what the hell is going on? And they fire these men 2 and 3 times. They
gotta come. They gotta come and get a UPK, man.
Oh man,
they gotta come and get us.
They need to hand it over, and they say no because of this overturning. It's like they can't fire these cops because of the FOPE and the appeals. Right. The appeals for these cops, it's like they can't fire them. They're unfireable with their job. So this place coming apart, man. This place is absolutely coming apart. Y'all should find the UPK. You listening out there, come find Commander GEN.YAHANNA, man.
Right.
Come find Commander GEN.YAHANNA. Come find the ISUPK. Get that knowledge, man. Get that wisdom. Join yourself to this body because lean times are coming. Right. And lean times are coming quick. Literally, you're going to go to sleep one night and the next morning you're going to think you in one of them, TV series on Amazon. Where the camera over your shoulder and you just running with a little bug out backpack and some diapers for your kids, run into some, FEMA truck. Right. It's going to be ridiculous. Make sure and get up in here, man. Make sure and turn to your people. Right.
And what you're saying so right about that whole that let that be a whole lesson on the police reform groups that's out there about reforming the police department. So now you got a revolving door of incompetence.
Yep.
And best believe that we gonna have to absorb that cost as Black people, Hispanic, Native American Indian people, and that cost is a human cost. For them being able to come back in there, and you better believe if they do all that and come back in there and get reinstated with back pay, they feeling that they are above the law.
Yeah.
Make no, they feeling like Judge Dredd. I know y'all remember that movie.
Yeah.
Judge Dredd. They feeling like Judge Dredd or RoboCop or something. That's how they feeling. So when you got this type of thing, this let you know the system can't correct itself. Because this is how it was intended to be. You know what I'm saying? So you got this going on, and it let you know what time it is, man. With these different police groups, man. You know what I'm saying? Which is why if you are a quote unquote so-called leader, you supposed to understand what time it is, like Captain Mashak said. And see, in the I.S.U.P.K, we all have a real leader in this group. You understand? And we know about when times like these happen, a leader must be able to produce justice.
Yeah.
That's what people don't understand. You understand? A leader must be able to produce justice. You know what I'm saying? So this let you know where this society is headed. You understand? And being that we have the law of the Lord, the law of our God, we understand what is justice and what justice looks like. So like
right. Listen, you're right. You're so right. Like even this thing with DCPD, I don't know if you remember Kathy Lanier. She was the white woman who was the chief of police about 8 years ago. Right? She's the woman who Relisha Rudd went missing under, and she walked off the job and took the job of the head of security for the NFL. And they was begging her to stay, and she said she can't stay in this circus no more. She literally said that. She said, I cannot stay in this circus anymore, and walked off the job. And and she's a devil. She's like the devil want to leave hell. Right. Imagine that shit. The devil want out of hell. Like goddamn. What we're trying to be in there for that? Right. God. You know what I mean? So listen, we right up the time, we over the time. God damn. Yeah, I mean, but once again, a good show. I'm giving up Commander GEN.YAHANNA, giving us the platform rocking it up all the time. Don't forget, Feast of Tabernacles coming up. Check your local schools, give them a call, see where they're having it. This is tomorrow, Sunday at 7 p.m. The Feast of Tabernacles, the opening. Y'all go check it out. You know what I mean? Everywhere where there's ISUPK, they're going to be the opening of the Feast of Tabernacles. Closing is next week, Monday. Not this Monday coming, but the following Monday, the 17th. You know what I mean? Commander GEN.YAHANNA going to be in Baltimore. We're going to be closing it down in Baltimore. You know what I mean? Around in the 3420 Eastern Avenue. Come check it out. 3420 Eastern Avenue. Commander GEN.YAHANNA going to be in Baltimore October 17th. That's that Monday at 7 p.m. He's going to do the closing of the Feast of Tabernacles down there. Man, come on down, man. Check us out. Pay your tithe. Support the truth. You know what I mean? Give a Parashi and them. Some devil, he drive all the way from an hour away to come and kneel down in front of them and pay tribute and read. I mean, he read a letter that was well written. He got on his knees and said, I want to thank the I.S.U.P.K under Commander GEN.YAHANNA. I know I'm a Caucasian, I'm a devil, I have no place with you all, but I want to serve. And he was on his knees. More of you people got to do that, man. That's right. That's right. To do that. You'll come up in here and yield over to the sons of Jacob. Right. Yield over to the Most High in Christ, man. We're going to be back next week. Again, thank the whole crew from coming through. You know what I mean? Captain now. You know what I mean? Captain Marlo is coming through every week, rocking it all, holding on the South Zone. You know what I mean? The God, how man, but definitely that's pretty hot, bro. That's huge. Anytime we could get here, it's been holding on the West Coast Zone. Big cookout in Vegas coming up December 1st through 4th. And of course, Chief Sack G, we holding it down there in Memphis, Tennessee. We're rocking it down, and of course, Zach over down here with me in DC. Definitely appreciate you, Akim, and everybody who supports us on the inside. Y'all see, y'all check it out. Keep paying your tithes. Tune in this Monday. Command GEN.YAHANNA going to be live, 9 p.m. You know what I mean? Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
I got you. Let it ride real quick. Look.
City eyes. It's time to Bogart. My God, a real nigga. Cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure. Got that shot in the closet by the mob ball. Fuck what they heard. Tell them it's all true. Be cautious. That foundation voltage and fall through. They gon' fall. Look, I keep this shit 50 times 2. Ain't no more heart in this game. I'm John Q. Colder than the avalanche. Way above average. Offense taste sweet. Told him make me an apple tree. Left us in the valley full of bones. This where hope found. Child, come on, man. Dark sands get broke down. Riding through Evans to a mall quad. Telling me how the crackers turn his childhood to a ghost town. Poker stop, nigga. I lay that game down. I feel his pain, cause nothing is the same now. Let my light shine like heaven through a rain cloud. Glock have a fit like my child, so tangent. Try to warn them niggas we bear arms like tarantulas. Them other niggas rap, I make anthems. I really seen prophets under this banner. Made my enemies bow down on camera. Told my design I wanted black and white like a panda. I'm better than that nigga that sunk dirty Diana. Look, I move like a Brazilian, precious cargo. Spirit ancient, but I got a new semi-auto. Wave that bitch around like where's Waldo. Sleep if they won't, I cut through they Z's like I'm Zorro. Hate me for his name, so I gotta keep that steel clutch. Trust me, I'm not what you think. I squeeze till it click like Dorothy when the heels touch. The world got me dumb, I don't feel much. Ride around with Yaradon, just left the state bridge. Looking for a bitch better than Baby's kid. Remember I dropped Quiet Storm, I've been gone ever since. Still in the field, fuck them niggas on the fence, yeah.